a detailed letter to her grandchildren, just in case something like this would ever happen. After clearing the winery to ensure no other druids or blights were inside, you all went up to the Mardikovs to tell them of your deeds. They thanked you and told you of the true reason of why these attacks had been happening. How the winery was able to produce their wine was by the help of magical seeds that in the recent weeks had been stolen. One of which, a long time ago, unsure of how it was stolen or by who. One from which a witch in Berez has stolen, and the other by the druids who have taken that seed south to a hillside for whatever purpose they are unsure. They ask for your aid once more in collecting the seeds again so that they are able to produce more wine, as wine is the lifeblood of this entirety of Barovia. But with a more pressing thing at hand, in the attempt to bring Babushka's body back to life and to bring it to Crest to see the abbot, hopefully to ask for his aid, you all told them that you would help afterwards. They understood and told you that to take a shipment of wine that they had to Kresk as a way into the city. Adrian and Elvir, Davian's two sons, will take the wine to Kresk with you all as an escort the next day. During the conversation, you all noticed that someone was missing. And as you asked the Mardikovs where Irina was, they did not remember a woman by that name. Fearing the worst and guessing Strahd, Morel went to a nearby fauna and spoke to a field mouse. He detailed an encounter with a man on a flaming horse that swooped down and took the woman. Another huge blow to morale, but the next day, you all began your long stretch north with the wine in tow. Along the journey, you encountered these massive hag-like creatures surrounding a lone wolf. Knowing of these foul hags and their deeds, you had all chosen to slay them, and during the fight, freeing the wolf. And as the wolf began to fight back, as he was struck by the radiant burn of Gaia's spirit guardians, burning away the false form and revealing a strange man of elven descent that smelled of honey and nectar. So that is where we'll pick up after the encounter, kind of the dust settling. You see this man now in like full standing abroad. He kind of seems almost wild, feral. Still like wolf. It feels like if a man was a wolf for a long time, as he still feels that wolf-like sense. He's still very aggressive, and like kind of looks about, kind of snarling and kind of confused of his form. But Daniel, you feel like your body returning to you. You're not sure how long you've been a wolf, but you know it's been a while. Your concept of time has fucking vanished entirely. But you remember the last thing that happened, and we kind of discussed it, what happened to you before this transformation. But yeah, you've been here for a while, kind of coming back. You've been in that wolf form for a while. But you see this kind of group of adventurers that have just saved you from these hags. Knowing what these hags were probably doing, you see them, and you guys see this man in front of you.
Does he look visibly hurt at all?
Doesn't seem hurt. Seems that once that form burned away, it kind of burned away that form, but he didn't take much damage at all.
And are you fully clothed?
Yes.
Yes.
Transforming. Okay, you're in like, okay. So there's nothing scary happening. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have a picture of him, do you? At all?
Of him? Yeah. Of course I do.
I guess I don't know.
I'm him. There you go. Did that show with everybody?
I don't see it. Probably just Daniel, maybe?
Yeah.
What?
Hold on. I can put it in everybody's turn. All players.
Oh, yeah.
Save changes. Show to player.
That helps. Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
there we go.
Oh, you're green? That's cool.
Greenish, yeah.
Yeah, greenish.
Greenish.
Yeah, he has a greenish tinge to him. You kind of see his ears, they're elven in nature, very kind of long and fey, but they're forked at the top, which is
Weird.
strange.
Whoa.
This guy looks like he'll cause some trouble, bro. I'll be 100% honest with
You can kind of look, his hair is like this tuft of like, what's your hair? It's like this like fiery red right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has this fiery red hair that kind of sits like short, but you see like what seems to be almost horns, but as horns kind of normally curl backwards, they kind of make it's this sort of crown that sits on his head, but it's all of bone that kind of sits.
you. Okay.
And as he stands there, kind of huffing and kind of focused, you kind of notice, mostly Morel, you notice like the flora around him as he kind of stands there. You see the dying and wilting flowers that's all about. They slowly begin to, you see that like verdant green that starts to come back as they start to just like slowly but very carefully kind of seem to just like flower once again.
So they
just
were
around him.
They were
everything was
wilted
dead.
when they first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's dead normally in Barovia, but as he's kind of standing there, kind of huffing, kind of looking at you, kind of checking his surroundings, you see like the fauna around you. I mean, the flora kind of slowly begin to grow again, very gently.
I'd like to look at him and just say, "Hey there, stranger. You seemed like we caught you in quite a tuffle. What seems to be the reason why you were all shackled up?"
I mean, you did. I thank you, and I'm going to point to Nissa, and I'm going to thank her for freeing me. But those three over there, they took my fucking kills. Alright? I could have had it. I could have killed those hags. I could have got what I needed. I could have somehow found my way back. And I could have killed the other hag.
Well,
Wait, what was your question?
That you were not in any condition to take on these. We just thought that we were helping out and doing a favor.
Oh, no, 100%. You were, and I thank you. But you took my kills. I could have killed them.
Oh.
All right.
We have no doubt of your skills. We just happened upon you on the road and thought a wolf, in truth, was in need of some assistance. We didn't know we were assisting an elf, sorts.
Yes. And no, but yes. Yes.
Yes and no. Right. Well.
Yes.
We find you during ill tidings. You don't seem, like a member of Barovia, which is good. We have a common enemy, I presume.
I mean, I guess, sure. Who's your enemy?
Right. How did you end up here? Do you know where you are?
Oh, no.
You kind of see him as he kind of looks about, and he kind of looks. He has no idea where the fuck he is.
Right. Yes. Well, you can call us the bearers of bad news. You are in a demi-plane known as Barovia, trapped away from the Sword Coast, from the rest of Faerun as well.
Wait, hold on. Back up. Rewind. Stop.
Sure.
So, demi-plane. We're on a demi-plane.
Correct.
We're not on the Sword Coast.
No.
That bitch lied!
Sure, probably. Yes, right. It sounds right.
I feel like he doesn't know where he is often.
Well,
No, I do know where I am often, except when I'm not there. You know, it's a lot. All right.
great.
Yes.
Well, look, we'll cut to the chase here to save you some trouble. We are, insert group name, we are here in Barovia.
Or the
on a
moon
quest
pass.
What a moon pass!
We are the moon pass. We are
Like
we're here on a
the
quest to
dessert?
escape- No, not canon. Not canon. Never happened. we are here really to escape Barovia. We were brought here against our will, as it seems like you were as well. Currently, in truth, and I'll get a little bit more somber, we find you on ill tidings. We've lost a member of our group. We are traveling to what seems to be a settlement among these dark lands, and that possesses a holy man of sorts that can maybe heal or resurrect, as our friend here. And I'll gesture back to like the cart where the guys are like way in the back.
You see the sun's just kind of.
She's passed on. We mean not to again to shock you, but if you don't know where you are and none of this was of your doing, it seems you've been pulled in by some rather mean person to a place that is very dark and terrible.
Oh no, I wasn't pulled in. I was shunted. There's a difference.
Even worse. Honestly.
Yeah.
Guide.
Was this by an enemy or a friend that did this to you?
Yes
I look
and no. You see, so there was this person, right? I was on the Swords Coast, like, I forget exactly how far I was away from the town, but, you know, I wandered into somewhere, everything was, like, super weird, and then I got stuck, and then I asked somebody for help, and she said she can help me, and she did, but kinda didn't, because now I wear this this crown, right? And then she kind of just said, "Oh, I can bring you back home, or I can put you home. I can put you back to to where you were once from, but this isn't where I was once from." So she lied, and I need to kill her.
So DM, you go, but then I have a couple questions. You were going to say something.
Guide, in the back of your head, you kind of hear that dark voice that kind of like, speaks to you on occasion. It just kind of, it smells of foul fey magic.
Certainly.
Careful with his trickery. Their bunch are not to be trusted.
I will now roll insight off of that.
This guy's rolling insight on his self.
On yourself?
No. Hearing the voice in my head, he's gonna kind of mentally respond. I could have guessed Fey magic. Adoy. But not saying it, he's like, he doesn't make a good point. We don't know this guy. I'm gonna insight roll. Is he like obviously does where he is, or like he could be like a person that was with Strahd.
So Daniel, roll me persuasion or deception, your choice, but roll it to me.
You should GM roll that shit.
Yeah, GM roll to me.
Okay. Persuasion.
Yeah, that's what I would say too if I was rolling deception. I want to be very clear.
I mean, hey,
I'm just saying, if I had the option persuasion, deception, and y'all heard that, I'd be like persuasion, and I click deception. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Read you like a book.
So you can roll just a D20, and I'll read your bonuses. If you want to GM roll me the D20.
There you go.
Okay.
I want to ask him about. Oh, I guess you can do guide stuff first. You can get that out of the way in order. Here.
So, guide, looking at this guy, and kind of how he kind of speaks really sporadically, and you kind of get this in your head that like what's up with this guy? You guess Fey magic, and how this voice is talking to you, how it kind of protects you in its own self-interest. You're kind of taken aback by this guy that tells this story, that spins this tale, but in a sense, you look at him, and though seems out of it, it seems genuine to a sense. He honestly doesn't really know too much. And he's angry about it.
Yeah. that point was
clear. Yeah. I suppose two things in order. The first, I'm interested. You said this crown upon your head is not of your own design. You weren't born with that. It looks natural or unnatural. But before we get there, your name. We haven't introduced ourselves officially. We are part of a group here, adventuring. I am Lord Vernon Benedict Walatoria Venator.
That's a long-ass name.
Certainly. Well, Vernon Venator would work.
Okay.
From House Venator on Faerun, so also we are not from here, myself included in that. And then this is the group, and I'll gesture to everybody else. They can. So.
Are we going to physically introduce ourselves?
Okay. My name is Morelja Anaday, and I'm from the Star Mountain, due east of the Source Coast.
My name is Nissa of Clan Tupelo, and I'm not from the city, so.
Country girl.
Well, she's not as animated as me, so I don't know how to not do that.
Guide. I guide my friends, hoping for the best outcome, avoiding. He'll kind of look them up and down. Trouble.
Mostly.
Trevor Belmont.
Question. Do you bleed?
Oh, no.
Wait, you said do I bleed?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could show you, but like there's consequences to that, and it really sucks. Do you bleed? I can find out right now, and I'm gonna take out a knife.
Oh no! No, he means well.
Match his actions.
Oh,
Gonna reach.
darn.
Pull out a knife.
No, this.
Pay no
he
mind.
he was just in a dreadful fight. I think we all need to, maybe, sorry. Sorry.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
Do you drink blood?
You know, that's kind of a thing. Like, do I drink other people's blood? No. Do I drink mine? Sometimes when I have to do something.
Huh.
Divine sense.
Divine sense.
As you
Oh,
pop
we
divine
take
sense.
it, I
Sounds,
guess, that he
that
might be
sounds a little bit
blood
familiar.
I could
That sounds a
sense
little bit
faith
familiar, yes.
If we know
Like
blood.
Casimir. Casimir, you
Yeah,
all
blood
remember
hunter.
Casimir? Yes, exactly, Morel. I think I know what you mean. I hope.
With your divine sense, you don't know anything. There's no fey, fiend, undead. He is human. Noid.
Humanoid.
Well, your name, good sir, and I suppose your reason for being here, if you don't have one. I don't want to volunteer you to join us, because that's not my place to do so.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
quest might put you in a rough spot if you were to follow us. So I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah. So my name is Khalid Haladar, and I mean, like, I can help you guys. It's no problem. I mean, what's a little killing in between friends, you know?
Well,
Um,
Khalid Halid.
But yes, also Morel and Vern, as he kind of describes, like, I don't drink other people's blood, but when I do stuff, you've heard of some people that do that. You've met one, and one of them has been one of your closest friends forever, and you know that they have to not necessarily ingest blood, but they do stuff
use
with
their
their blood.
Okay.
I would like to ask if you don't mind, is when you came upon this site, it seems that you had taken a lot of the death that was around you with the flora behind you, around your feet. It seems to be growing around you into a beautiful bouquet of greenery. What's that about?
I mean, there's a lot, you know. So there's this place beyond the Veil called the Feywild, and when you stay there for a little bit, or are born there, or just happens, you know, and this is one of them. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it doesn't. Most times it sucks. Because you get people saying you're a witch, or you're a hag or something, and I'm not really a hag, so.
Interesting. That is very peculiar, but I am very interested. I think it is a beautiful thing.
We'll cross witch and hag off the list.
Off the list. Well,
I suppose maybe we should get moving. We're just losing time.
yeah. So, Khalid, Khalid.
Yes. Sure.
DJ Khaled?
DJ Cat.
DJ Khaled, of course.
the best
As I
music.
said, we are on a journey currently, and I hate to rush you along. I mean, there's much to learn about you. As I said, I cannot pull you or volunteer you to join our group. If you were to follow along with us, it would be dangerous. We are on a quest that is, one that is a folly, in truth, if you ask many other people. Currently, we are seeking to resurrect the life of our departed, someone close to us. But beyond that, I don't know where our journey will take us. You are free, I suppose, if everyone's okay with it, to wander along with us and not be stranded here on the road. We're about 2 days away, I think, from Crest, as it stands now. And you have no idea where you are. I feel bad leaving you here on the road. I just can't speak to the future as it stands now.
So, on your journey, are we gonna have to kill things and people?
Lots of them, yes, and lots of people.
There may be some people in our way that we may have to take down.
Okay, so just as a general thing, how, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bad can I kill them?
How bad can you kill
I
them?
think that you
Yeah.
might be friends with our friend Khan here.
Con and Trevor, please, we'll put you guys all in the back. You all can just hang out, and we'll hang out up here.
I mean, maybe we don't necessarily go out on sprees for sport. Mostly just for self-defense. So if
Right.
you're looking more for game, I don't believe that this is
No, but in self-defense, you can still have some fun, can't you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I hadn't thought about it like that, really.
Can't tell if Karn's getting a
You-
chub right now, or if he's just drawing his dagger.
Yeah,
Are you referring to torturing your opponents?
you
Is
see
that
a
what you mean?
small erection.
No, I don't. Not torture per se, but sometimes, you need to get the point across to the other people to give up, and when you do that, sometimes you need to do a couple stabs in the non-important areas. So, I'm guessing your cart is going that way, right? And I'm going to point to the cart, see the direction.
Correct. Yes, we are heading down the road here.
Well, let's get a move on. I'm just going to walk straight to the woods.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So,
I
Well, he's over there.
suppose an able
Yeah, we-
able pair of hands is better than a dead pair of hands.
true. Just making sure while he's over there, we're all okay with this. This guy looks like he's here, and he's a fucking wild card. I want that on the record now. I don't want to be held responsible for bringing this thing on.
Peeled and don't let your guard down. But I
Just
do-
walking,
I
yeah.
do think that this isn't theater. This is a whisper. It's a whisper
Mhm.
amongst the group.
He kind of just walks away. And then as like a little while like down the way, he kind of like turns and just kind of like starts walking in the woods and then turns around and kind of comes back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Was this-
Presume my same location in the back of the cart, like standing back, making sure I'm trying to watch out for things following us as we keep going along.
Let's all just keep him in, your peripheral, right? Yeah, you keep your eyes on him. We don't know. We don't know this person, and maybe he will help us. Maybe he won't. We don't know. But seems for now he's coming along. As long as we're all on board with that, we don't have to all be on board with that. I was very clear. So speak now, please.
Not the weirdest dude we've come across yet.
No, I won't argue that. You are right. I
So,
suppose the
you
guy
know-
he fits in here.
Internally, Trevor's like, "Oh, fantastic! We've traded a mad woman for a mad man. We're batting 1,000 out here."
Bat 1,000.
That's great. All right. Well, yes, we'll press onward. I'll be this way. We'll press onward this way, and I'll point that way he sees when he's like walking in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going that way.
Oh,
Alright.
wait, that way. Okay, cool. I'm just going to I'm going to go walking the way he pointed.
All right.
Besides the knife he pulled, does he have any visible weapons?
Does have weapons on him. I think he has what? You have a sword, right? Long sword.
I have a...
Yeah, long sword.
Yeah.
And then on his back, he has this light crossbow that kind of like hampered down.
Great. Okay.
Somebody cast
Yeah.
a confusion spell on him.
Yeah. He's permanently confused. Okay, we're gonna push on, DM. We're heading to
All
Trent. I
right.
think it's day one. So
This is the end of day one, actually.
day one.
End of day one. So, when you're back on the map, as the day winds down, is kind of fine. You look for camp off to the side of the road somewhere. I'm guessing Guy will use his sphere. What is it called?
Liamon's tiny hut.
Tiny hut. There it is.
Just a little marker.
Yeah, I got a marker for you guys now.
That's nice. Very nice.
Oh,
A little Barovia family
Ooh.
crest marker.
I was just gonna ask. I want to zoom in because I can't see what it is. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
cool.
crest of Barovia.
Or spell component reasons.
Yeah.
Would the planchetta with raven markings be considered a small? Well,
What is this
similar
for?
tokens. Is it worth at least 25 gold pieces? You think?
The planchette. What are you
For-
using it for?
For the casting augury. It is a special
Augury.
marked stick, bone, or similar token worth at least 25 gold pieces. I figured it was a small token marked with ravens.
Yeah, but like how augury, the idea of augury, it's like using like runes or like drawing runes from a bag, or like throwing sticks or throwing bones. They put a pattern out on the floor or something, and you can interpret that pattern. With just a planchette, if you had maybe a board, a spirit board, maybe, but for this, I would say no.
Okay.
But I could say, as through your journeys, you can start to collect sticks,
Yeah.
like specially marked sticks, and make them. And then I would say you would burn 25 gold pieces worth of resources to like create these special sticks.
Oh, I could do it now. You saying, or like
Yeah,
starting
yeah,
now?
yeah.
I'm collecting.
Yeah, no, I would say that what you could do as through your journeys, so far, you know that you needed these sticks, so you would slowly mark them, collecting materials and things to create these inlaid sticks. But we're 25 gold pieces. You got 25. Just mark them off, and you'll be able to use the augury spell. But as the day ends, with the Leoman's tiny hut cast off to the side of the road, you have a fairly large group.
Yeah. Are we putting
Um,
everybody in here?
The tiny hut can hold up to
It can hold people. 7, 9. I want to say.
9.
Let me.
You guys have
quadruple
7.
check.
9?
9
9.
creatures
Yeah, 9
of
total.
medium size or smaller can fit inside
All
the
right.
dome.
So the horses do have to stay outside, but you guys can fit in. Kind of tying off the horses, kind of staying. Who is, staying up, for guard
You can
duty.
do first watch and wake up the second person.
Okay. Guide is always kind of on surveillance,
I never need sleep, y'all.
but at least another person if you guys want. If not, that's fine.
I don't mind
Yeah.
taking the second watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first watch, people on first watch make a perception check as you all bed down to rest. 12.
It's not the best. But it's not. It's fine.
Taking a look around with guide.
Wow,
Guides up,
really?
ever vigilant. As the night progresses on, you don't seem to notice anything. Your horses don't get spooked; they kind of rest. And as the night progresses on, you kind of arouse morale, get some rest. It goes switch shifts. Morale to 25 perception check, and I'm taking a peek around. Far off in the distance, you hear something, like way, way far. Just as you kind of perceive, you hear kind of just kind of very low, like kind of snap of a branch, like far off in the distance. Like kind of a tree felling, something kind of falling off in the distance. Something large is moving through the forest. You kind of keep a watchful eye. For a few minutes, another tree fells. And the loud snapping and breaking of branches, but still far, not moving towards you. It's like
You
off
just
in the
hear it in the distance.
Yeah,
I think
you just hear it.
I'd wake up or elbow whoever's next to me just to see if they would. It's just another pair of ears and
Okay.
eyes.
Well, you kind of look at Guide. You know,
Oh,
Guide's
that's
always
right.
aware.
Guide's gonna be up on it anyway. I'll just look at him and be like, "Yo, you hear that out in the distance? There's some snaps. There's something out there, but I don't think it's coming towards us. But do you hear anything peculiar about?"
It is heard. Have we seen or fought anything big enough to just take down trees?
In the current time, no, you haven't
I was
fought
gonna
anything
say.
that big. You've seen like direwolves is probably the biggest thing you've seen so far, and they don't fell trees, but they do like crack like fallen logs. They step and smash them. They're big creatures, and they kind
Yeah.
of bend and bow trees, but they don't fell. They don't.
Yeah,
fall.
but taking down a whole
Yeah,
full
taking
grown
down a whole
tree,
tree,
roots and all is
no.
and kind of pinging north, east, south, west. Can I generally get where it's heading? I know it's heading towards us, but is it heading towards Fresk? Is it heading towards the winery?
It is really difficult to perceive like location of sound like that. For rolling perception check, both of you
Can I
Can I
survival
keep? Can I
check
keep?
or
Can I keep my
something?
nat?
It'd be
I'm-
perception. That was for the first shift, brother.
Ah! I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Hey, you can't cast
Oh.
spell while you're resting.
You're so right.
Oh,
Sorry, I instinct.
It's
Pulse.
instinct, I know. Morel, you can do it as well.
I can what?
Roll a perception check. Kind of gain. In what direction, roughly?
19.
19. As you're kind of in the woods, it's really, really hard to discern.
Alright. So I guess we'll just stay quiet then.
But you know it's not. The sounds don't become louder over time.
Dang. I wanna wake everybody up because it makes me nervous. But I think I might ruffle some feathers. But
If we come across it, going back down south or east, we'll have to bite a bullet then. But no point waking everyone if it's not coming towards us.
Yeah.
All right.
But as you guys continue your rest and you're watchful, for the better part of like an hour, you hear kind of these every once in a while, every like 10 minutes, you hear like another tree fall. But after a while, silence again through Barovia. And then, as everybody begins to rouse and start their day, spells are being prepped. It is the start of the second day of travel. I need a D100 roll for weather, and then you guys will begin your journey.
100.
Are you doing it, Karn?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
D100 initiate.
80.
Nice.
So close to
80.
100. That's good, right?
It's not good. 80's light fog. Yeah. So as the day kind of progresses from your overcast day, a light fog kind of fills the air around you all. Light fog makes it a little more difficult to see about. Perception checks will be a disadvantage throughout the day, but with the light fog, it's okay travel day. So as you begin your trek through with this kind of ever-present fog, I need we'll go with 3 D20 rolls for the first half of the journey. That's 3 tiles.
Anybody have a desire?
I'll roll one.
I'll roll it.
Oh, whatever. 1, 2,
And 3.
Yeah, 3.
and 3. Perfect. As the first half of your journey kind of going through, you do pass a kind of a large bridge. Here. Here we go. So, as you kind of move along, you see a weather-worn signpost next to the road. 3 arms of the signpost along the branches to the road. The arms pointing north reads Kresk, and through the woods you can see the arching stone bridge spanning a river. The arms pointing south, east reads Valaki. You already know eastward would go to the Valaki, and then south, kind of in a weathered on the wood, is the Wizards of the Wine. The road here kind of gently slopes downward while you're kind of coming uphill from that road. And looking towards the Kresk way, you see that kind of stone bridge kind of spanning over this river. But you can continue on. I need 3 more checks for the second half of your journey. 3 D20 rolls. And you have to be bedding down for the evening.
I'll do one.
Go for it.
13.
Materius, go and roll 1. And then Daniel, roll 1 as well. Again.
You want some M&Ms?
Materius. Fuck it. Trevor.
Okay, I responded to it, so
Yeah, we're good. All right. With the next half of your journey, luckily a very peaceful journey, quiet. Not noticing anything. Luckily, in the light fog, it's not too bad. It slows just a bit, but with Vern being kind of the lead of this expedition, kind of knowing a feel for the woods, you don't get lost in this fog, and you can make an easily down the road. Again, lucky for you guys, this road seems much travel. It's padded down, and it's actually a roadway, kind of like disheveled in it, like back roads. But as the night progresses, as the night begins to fall, the sun begins to set, you have to bed down for the evening again. I need 1 D100 roll for weather to see how it transitions through the night. I could probably just roll weather, but 48. It actually does clear up. The light fog does clear up. It becomes more overcast. The fog dissipates, and throughout your evening, you can know that you'll have a better chance of spotting anything off into the distance as you rest for the evening. As you rest for the second evening, we have for people on watch. Whoever wants to be on watch. Morel, I'm guessing 1. Karn on the other. Sounds good to me. Morel, if you want to do the first watch, you roll a perception check with guide.
My eyes? There we go. Oh, my eyes!
I got a 10.
Oh, your eyes. Hey, double 10.
I hear
But that is fine. You don't really. You kind of sit around. After last night's kind of event, of the snapping noise. You keep very vigilant on the sounds, but the eerie quietness kind of like throws you off a little bit. So you kind of keep yourself occupied. You kind of, instead of, keeping a watchful eye, you kind of, more peer down towards your notes and kind of just do your own little research. But the night luckily progresses on as you kind of feeling the exhaustion kind of take you. You kind of rouse Karn, and as Karn awakes, he goes for his watch. A perception check for you, sir. 19. Very good. Karn, as you kind of keep a watchful eye out, you know that, guard duty is very important, not to get snuck up on. But luckily, in the safety of this dome, you don't really see much. Nothing seems to bother you, or your horses. You kind of see the horses kind of get restless for a moment, but as you kind of like look at them, they kind of, get rustled. They kind of settle down again. Kind of look off into the woods to see if anything. You notice that there was kind of like a lone wolf kind of like wandering, but noticing that the horses kind of there, they kind of sense something in the area is around, so it doesn't seem to bother you. And it's a singular wolf that kind of like goes off. But these woods are teeming with wolves, so seeing a lone wolf, probably a pack nearby. But luckily, they don't seem to bother you. But as the night becomes day, as the sun becomes to rise once more on the final day of travel, I need another D100 roll for weather. The weather progresses. 100.
Big numbers, baby.
Huge numbers.
Oh, boy.
Well, luckily we're doing progressive weather currently, so it goes from that overcast again as the morning becomes into that light fog again rolls in, making it a little more difficult to see. But as you progress, we have the first half of travel, and you'll be in Kresk after that. So I need 3d20 rolls for encounters. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, y'all are rolling solo. That's so good. This is the fastest journey to Kresk ever. So we are, as the end of the first half of your day, at the end of your first half of the day, you find the village of Kresk. Let's get there. Let's see. Exciting stuff. Okay. Yes. I forget. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Kresk art. I do have Kresk art.
Oh man.
Do have.
That's
I,
too good, bro.
Where's
I
the
find out among the barrels as we approach the gates or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll show you what you see here. The first image. We got this.
Ooh, very nice.
So
Alright.
as the
Aw,
day progresses
dirty
on,
walls.
it begins to get colder as you kind of this road becomes to kind of climb up in this kind of not mountainous area, but it becomes a lot colder as you begin to progress further along. As you make it to the base of this kind of mountainous area, you find yourselves along the road junction. You see the road branches north and climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built in a 20-foot high wall of stone, reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin wisps of smoke from chimneys. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you have grown accustomed to. It's hard to tell at this distance, as it's you're a good ways away from this road junction to climb up to this kind of this wall. But there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that leads up from the walled settlement to the abbey itself. So it seems that the abbey is separate from the village. But it's your choice. It's about a little more than a mile as you kind of get up to this to go to this location.
Like separate as in we don't have to go to Kresk, we could just go to the Abbey.
No, you have to go into it's the
Gotcha.
village of Kresk, and then it's like mountainous. So in theory, maybe, but you'd be climbing a mountain.
Gotcha. Essentially, the best bet Kresk, then like work our way up.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see a road from the village of Kresk to the abbey itself.
How tall is that? How high is that climb?
Twenty.
Pretty high.
Oh.
How high are the walls of the cliff?
The cliff.
It's pretty fucking high.
Ah,
Like, it's a trek. It's a trek.
we got it.
We
got
also have a lot of beasts of burden and barrels of
Barrels
wine.
of wine.
And a wagon.
Well, look, we
Yeah,
have a way in Crest. If they don't let us in, we can always scale the mountain if we have to. So we'll put that on the back burner. That's a backup plan.
Look, guys, I understand you want to sit in this wagon. I can't sit anymore. Can't we just walk it? I mean, it's better to walk it. It's better exercise for your legs, for your glutes, for everything. Can we just walk?
Let's approach the gates. I'd rather let the Mardikovs approach the gates and vouch for us. That's why they're here, of course, to bring the wine, and we will follow it along and just see how it goes. The first plan is to get into the city, and then from there, the village. From there, we can look into. Remember the card reading. Something was here. I forget what it was. The White Sun or something or other, and then the abbey, and of course the abbot and the abbey. So just try to get in first and take a look around.
So, as you kind of press forward, the air starts to become colder as you approach the vault zone. Finally see kind of your breath. You have to like bundle some clothes, and you kind of rub your arms to kind of warm yourselves as you approach the tower. You see 2 square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway in which a set of pair of 12-foot-tall iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the door is the name Crest. The wall that extends from the gatehouse is 20 feet high. Atop the parapets, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears as they watch you nervously approach. You kind of see into the buttresses themselves. You see kind of arrow slits. Like arrow slits from the walls and stuff. It seems pretty well defended.
We can sit back while they approach and make sure we look like not a threat. Not uncommon for people to raise arms against adventurers, especially, and we all are rather particularly armed. So we'll hang back.
But I would like to ask the sons before they go.
Sure.
Is the climate change related to the altitude, or is this a phenomena of this village of itself? Is it always this cold?
Oh yes. It's just the altitude here.
I see. Wow. Oh, that's it. That's all. I was just curious.
Yes, the altitude is rather cold here. It's always cold here.
Okay.
Okay. As you all approach, they kind of tell you like, it's probably better if you come along with us, seeing that you kind of separate from us makes them wary, probably.
Okay.
So please approach, act like you belong here, because well, you kind of do. But as you kind of approach the guard tower, guard doors, you see it's watched over by a lone guard. Not a lone guard, about 4 guards that kind of stand there waiting. As you kind of approach, they kind of wave you down, and as you kind of get to the gate. Who goes there? What do you need?
Hello there. We arrived with the Mardikovs to deliver some wine and into the city of Crest. We are, insert adventuring name here.
Moon pads.
Simply here to deliver some wine and take part in your city's amenities, possible.
All right. Stay here. Be back. You see one of the guards. They kind of talk among each other, and then one of the guards breaks off from the group, heads into the city. A mere few moments later, you see a very well-dressed man, very fine, noble attire, big winter coat, big fur hat, as he kind of walks on and approaches you all. As you look at him, he has this kind of like scraggly white beard, bald head. As he comes up to approach, he looks. Who was there? What do you need?
Hello. Here to deliver some wine on behalf of the Mardikovs. Take part in some of what Crest has to offer. We are adventurers from distant lands. We mean you no harm.
He kind of like looks at you all and just sighs. Right, let them in. Let them in. Hurry. Kind of like you see the iron doors kind of open. As iron doors open, they kind of gesture you inside. The kind of cart again snaps the snicker horses as you kind of begin your march into the city of Kresk. The burgomaster kind of greets you. Hello, my name is Dmitry Kreskov. I'm the burgomaster here for the city of Kresk.
And you come out to meet us in person. That's we are honored. Thank you. Give like a
Dmitry
bow.
what?
Dmitry Kreskov.
Grezkov. Got it. Off. Excellent.
Well,
He kind of looks at you. No, we appreciate the wine. It's been much longer than anticipated from the Morticos. Hoping.
Well, they had
everything is
a
okay
bit
over
of trouble back at the winery, so we were there to help. Just glad that we could deliver some to you all.
Kind of looks at the sons. You look well. Kind of. Thank you, Dmitry. Well, I appreciate your raid. The city is, well, as you know, as most of Barovia, the lifeblood of anything joyous here is the wine.
And we intend to do more about that. So hopefully the wine shipments can be more frequent as possible. We are really checking off a big list while we're here. In the meantime, which brings me, I suppose, to my main point. We had interest in, and not to rush along, and I'll make sure we do introductions and stuff. I'm not just going to fucking lump this guy. Interested in the abbey and maybe the abbot, a holy man. We have someone amongst our group who is departed from us in a tragic way. We're looking to see if maybe that's something we could revert or undo to help someone holy. Additionally, suppose if there's anything going on in your city we should know about. Rare we get to have an audience with the burgomaster so simply and easily. Please walk away.
As you kind of discuss, mostly what you guys would notice is as you speak of like we have an ally die, his like stare kind of goes like off and like he seems to have checked out as you kind of continue to talk, and then he says the abbot. You want to go see the abbot to help. He kind of like looks at you, kind of like he kind of snaps at it for a moment and just kind of looks at you. You wish to see the abbot?
Well, I suppose, yeah. From what we understand, yes. We have spent some time in Vallaki and learned that there's an abbey here and a holy man who runs this abbey who might be capable of resurrection and other miracles. We were thinking we could, beseech him on this behalf. And hopefully come away with something.
Kind of like nods.
Resurrection even.
Kind of like shakes his head. The abbot normally doesn't meet with people, so it will be a journey, I suppose. But I wish you all luck.
See a recluse.
He only comes every once in a while. He makes his way towards the. Well, he doesn't talk much. Very to himself. Came here long ago.
Is he here
He did.
now?
Yes. He occasionally visits the Shrine of the White Sun, but he doesn't really talk much.
Shrine of the
Say that
White
one more
Sun.
time, fella, so I can write it down.
Sure.
Where's that at?
The abbot, we simply called him the abbot. He arrived about a century ago, and he hasn't aged a day since that day. My father and father's father knew of him. He hasn't aged ever since. He rarely leaves the abbey, but he occasionally visits the Shrine of the White Sun. It's to the north of here. He doesn't talk much, and the only demand of tribute he has is, well, of wine.
See,
We have that.
we do have that. I suppose that's all means to reach him. I have to ask, and I apologize for my forwardness. I mentioned our party member had departed, and you seem to drift away for a bit. I know you're probably no stranger to death, especially in a place like this. Any happenings in town that are relevant might be relevant to people in our line of work. We're here to help, if need be.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. I'm fucking great at that.
Is
I
there
am
any
actually
way I
great
can
at
help?
that, by the way.
Is there any way I can help in that? Like, maybe I could co-host the Moon Pie show with him?
Well, with the 25, which is it's so good.
You're good.
Yeah, it's so good.
This is there for support. He's there in the back. He's like, yeah.
Give me 1 second. I gotta go to the bathroom, but I will be right there.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
So the
So-
Shrine of the White Sun, that is
Yeah.
When you read the card, it said this card of power and strength. It tells a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. Look to the west, find a pool blessed by the light of the white sun.
Okay, so we're looking for maybe like a body of water at the shrine or something, where this, what is it? A weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight might be.
Sword of sunlight, yeah.
So we're in the right, we're in the right
When
place.
you looked north on the map, if I can remember, you saw water on
Yeah, there's a couple of different lakes. Yeah. So we could check again. I guess the question for the group is like, in what order do we do this? Because if we go up to the abbot in the abbey, that's like a trek up mountain. That's time. So we want to like check out the shrine in town first and look for this sword, or do we want to just
the
like?
shrine,
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
we
do
need
it.
the Babs. I think Babs was
Okay.
the limiting.
I'm with it.
factor.
I'm with it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. If we can try to see what this person's about. But now I'm a little not reluctant, but hesitant to have positive expectations if this person is as reclusive as.
I'm nervous. He's been here for a century. This is a lot of years, by the way. Hasn't aged, and he's a recluse. This guy is. There's no question he's weird. Now, weird can be good, but he's definitely weird. Bottom line. So we'll see how that shakes out. Anyway, all right, Dio. Talk to him.
All right. As you kind of look towards him and kind of like any happenings or anything, he kind of looks to you, kind of with somber eyes. Maybe it's, he recognizes you as like just something about you. He kind of
Have that effect.
right. I'm sorry if I'm not so pleasant. I recently lost my son. He was ill. He was the last of my children, and he was the last remaining child of my family.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But yes, the abbot. You
Forgive
could
me for asking. I have to ask. From what we understand, the abbot is capable of performing miracles of some capacity. Have you ever tried to reach him yourself?
No.
Well,
There has been much discussion. The abbot is a strange man. He claims to be a priest of the Morning Lord, and sure, maybe he is. But for someone to live so long, people begin to question if he is truly a holy man. If you ask many people in my village, many believe that he may be a servant of Strahd. Some of them believe he's Strahd himself.
well, I suppose we'd be able to tell you if we happen upon him. 100 years is a long time, so understandable that your folk are a bit, we'll say superstitious. Well, I suppose this is right up our alley. We'll take a look. We'll talk to this abbot, hopefully, if we can reach him with promise of wine. And if there's anything that can be done for your son, I promise you, it will be done on our behalf. In the meantime, this pool of the white sun.
There's nothing. There's like no hope.
Yeah, he's
in
not
that.
there.
He's not there.
In the meantime, this altar, the altar of the white sun, you mentioned it, a shrine somewhere here in town. Where exactly is that? Whereabouts? Curious. I know that the people of Barovia seem to really take to this Lathander, this Morning Lord.
Yes.
Wanted to maybe check it out. We have a few among our party who are more divine in nature than myself, at least.
Sure. Yes. He kind of like points you down this long road. Follow this road north all the way down. At the very end, you'll find a pool of water. You'll find the shrine there.
Very well. I suppose another off-topic question. This one more selfish than the last. Anyone who does fletching here, arrows and bows of sorts. I am looking to purchase more arrows and fix up what I have here. It's a dangerous world out there, as you probably know.
Right. Unfortunately, we live more of a communal society. We make all the things here. We don't have any sorts of income. All the things we do is for other citizens and our citizens alone.
Please, don't trouble yourself. No worries. Very well then. We shall find you once again, Dimitri. Thank you again for your patronage. I'll let you know what we come up with, especially in relation to the abbot.
Of course. If you are in need of a place to stay, you can probably find a room for you in my cottage. If not, I'm sure some of the people here will find rooms for you. Or
They
some
do
chores.
any tavern or big bar here? Anything of the sort?
No, nothing of the sort. But
More-
their own
more
residents,
communal.
they will ask for help with chores, chopping wood, things like that
Mm.
for your payment.
I've done this right before. Again, we can oblige. Thank you very much, Dimitri.
Have that
I appreciate you.
Try not to cause any trouble. My people have
Yeah.
had enough.
You have my word. You have our word, and I'll gesture to especially the fucking new green guy.
Yeah, that new
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I'll let everybody. We're all gonna behave because we're all here for the same reason. Okay, very well then. Thank you.
right.
Unless anybody has anything else, let's get the fuck out of here.
He's
So the brothers will stay with the burgomaster,
Yeah.
kind of offloading wine and kind of discussing like next steps. And they'll stay here probably for the day before heading back.
Hey, Vernon.
Um,
Vernon von Venator, whatever your last name is. You mentioned that 100 years is old?
Well, right, for most people, yeah, most races. I imagine, of course, you being an elf of sorts, from what I understand. Probably not for you, but for me, listen, I'm pushing the late 50s here. It's getting hard. The knees are starting to ache. The elbows don't work like they used to. It all goes to shit so fast.
Wait, you're how old?
Fuck, let me check. Hold on.
actually, I don't even know what the longevity race is. Hold on, we're gonna go to Google.
54. I mean, 54 really gets you. You know, 50s was where it really hit me. You know, I did a lot of moving around, and the 40s were fine. I felt, sly. The gray hair came in early, and honestly, good luck with the ladies. If I wanted it, I never really pursued. But 54, 50s really hit me hard. I'm feeling it. My back aches like you wouldn't believe, especially in this cold weather.
You're just gonna see my character just start counting on his hands. 50's not old!
No, well, not for you. No.
Ah,
And I appreciate that. You're a very sweet young man. Honestly, I thank you for that. 50's not old, and I look in the mirror every morning and tell myself that. But I roll out of bed and I look at these fellas here, and they're all so gung ho, and they run and they talk to animals and they shoot lightning bolts, and I'm just starting to
Just
wonder.
a guy.
if this is
oh,
for me.
don't,
I'm starting to wonder if this is for me. I'm just getting old. Honestly.
Nissa will like pat, not like patronizing him, but like pat him on the back of the head. I'm like, don't discredit yourself. You are very skilled,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
and that's it. That's all she said.
Right. Yeah, listen, I shoot a bow. That's something they teach guards to do at a young age. I mean, it's I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that I do anything special. I'm getting up there, all of you. So
Well,
please, really, anything, I'm telling you, be more gentle with me. It's hard for me.
What's young age?
Young would be look, 20s, honestly 30s. You're asking me. These whippersnappers are young.
That's a baby.
Agreed, right? Baby, baby, 100%. They don't know anything of the world really. At 30, even then, they expect you to have it all figured out, and you got nothing.
This feels too real.
This is bleeding into real life.
Vernon, hold on. You're 50. 54.
Right? Yes.
Yeah,
Don't remind me,
it's-
please.
So, I don't want to say how old I am because I think I'm gonna make you mad.
No, you are of a different race. I'm well aware
Oh,
that elves, especially, tend to age much slower than humans do. I just nothing I can do to make this feel any better. I'm afraid.
What they said about the guy is he didn't age at all in 100 years.
You didn't show no sign of aging.
That's a ticket.
And even elves, after 100 years, there's maybe a
A
little
little bit
sign
of
of aging.
maturity, yeah, would show.
Yeah, there's more maturity, not like signs of old age, but maturity. He hasn't
Well,
aged
listen.
a day.
Listen, Khalad, which one was it?
A lad.
Khalad, listen, Khalad.
Khaled.
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. Listen,
We
DJ
the
Khaled,
best.
I don't. Please, I don't want to age myself any farther. You keep your age a secret, right? You can tell the others, but look, for me, just tell me you're in your 20s, and I'll be happy. Let's push.
I mean, in human years, sure, yeah, no, I'm not in, no.
Okay, well, how
No.
old are you? I have to know, honestly.
Like human years or elf years?
How many years have you been on this
Our
precious
fallen
story?
team
60.
member.
60.
60.
All right. Well, look, if I look that good in my 60s, I'll be happy. We'll leave it there.
Dude, I'm like 18 in human years.
Yeah,
Adam.
our fallen party member has also led a long in life, and yet she's a bit her visual appearance was a bit more appropriate for how long she had been on this earth. Well, Earth? No.
Torah.
The
Something
world.
similar.
The ground?
Toro.
Yeah, that works.
Sure. The planet.
Really, we could all be so lucky to look as well as Kalad and I won't I'm not gonna joke about Babush's corpse because Vernon ain't got that in him. But
Yeah, no.
we could all be so lucky to age like the elves do. That being said, I feel we're a bit off topic. Heading to the altar of the White Sun here. Kalad, thank you.
This is a walk and talk.
Yeah, thank you again, Kalad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you comforted me. It didn't feel like you were trying to, but I'll take it as that.
I mean, I was honestly just curious. Now I'm curious how old everyone else is.
Well, you need to tell us how old you are.
You should-
In
you should
I'm
talk
sick-
to him.
years, you're saying.
I'm
You should-
60.
you should be traveling with
Si-
me. You should talk to me.
60 in elf years. So yeah, so I'm going to turn to everyone. I'm 60 in elf years, like 18 in human years.
Whoa.
Is that how human years work?
I don't know if
Is this how you
if they
guys
hear the rest
think
of the
I talk
conversation,
about
it sounds
age?
like you're just like, hey, here's some
I feel like this is a bit of a jab to when I make a comment about you guys being, older. I feel like, a little.
A little bleeding,
Sorry,
a little
sorry.
bleeding. But as you guys continue, the conversation is kind of dies down as you approach the shrine.
Buddy, your mic cut out to shit. I couldn't hear a word you
That
said. Unless
was-
you were muttering to yourself.
I was muttering to myself, really.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, who is this fella? That better be.
I was just gassing myself up.
I see.
This
He goes,
guy
okay,
I-
we can do this. We can do this. We can do
Go
this.
on.
Yeah.
He's
Let him
got some
cook.
pecs.
Hex,
Yeah, bro, but one thing that statue has is some pecs. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
I'm
As
gonna-
you approach, even under the gray skies, this pool at the north end of the village shimmers and sparkles like sunlight. Near its shores sits an old gazebo on the verge of collapse. A wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man, his paint chipped and faded, stands in the gazebo with arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced.
Right. Do I see any? Sorry, I don't know if you said it or not. Do we see like a pool of water? Do we see like any kind of?
Yes.
We do,
There's a
okay.
pool of water to the north, and it sparkles with it almost sparkles like sunlight. It sparkles and
Wow.
gleams and
Yeah.
shimmers.
So I'll say, well, now that we're here, before we deal with any of this Abbott stuff, important to mention why we're here if anyone's lost in translation. Card reading, we remember the thing that was going to help us against Strahd, or these different tools and whatnot. We had one specifically that mentioned a pool blessed by the light of the White Sun. This is a shrine of the White Sun, full of water there. Now, I want to make it very clear, I don't expect there to be anything in the pool of water literally. I don't know how these things work. They're so literal. But I suppose everyone look around. Maybe we find something. Maybe a clue, or maybe it leads to something. I don't know.
What kind of card told you that?
I'm gonna check out.
You weren't here, DJ Khalad, but we were given a card reading. We were given a card reading. I'm sorry, I apologize. We were given a card reading by a Madame Ava, one of the Vistani, which is a people that can travel to and from Barovia with free will. Essentially, she told us that many adventurers come to this land. I'll save you the short version. They come to this land and they're destined to best Strahd. All of them have failed up to this point, obviously, because we're all still here. But every time they come, they get like a card reading, I presume, and it tells them about different things scattered around Barovia that might be a tool to defeat this Dreadlord. You don't know about Strahd, I don't think, at all. Just know that he's a bad guy, vampire, run of the mill. We'll handle it. But we're looking for stuff now to deal with him, and this is one of the card readings.
So wait, hold on. He's a vampire.
Yes.
Yes.
So I can kill him.
Well, we hope, but keep in mind that all of the stuff you traveled through and all this land and those hags you probably were messing with, all that's really under his duress. Just means that he's not just a vampire. It's not that simple. Otherwise, we would have handled it already.
All I heard was vampire, and I can kill him.
Sure, that's fine enough for me. I like your gusto. Dean, we're gonna all just, I presume, take a look around the shrine and whatnot. I'll hug the guy if he's looked like he's waiting for a hug. The statue, but that's about it.
I think Karn wanted to go to the statue as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we're
fine.
definitely
Please,
definitely
let
So,
me
we'll
know.
go, so Karn, as you kind of approach the statue, you see the statue itself. It is old and chipped. Seems its hands are outreached.
Like outreach, like I'm praising the day. Outreach, like I'm looking for a hug. Outreach, like I'm holding something or was holding
There are
something.
different versions.
Roll a religion check.
Religion. Throwing signs.
Hey, I'm actually good at those.
You can roll a
Right?
religion check
That's
as well.
impressive because ain't nobody fucking good at those. I don't
Let me
think.
check.
That's the last thing you hit.
So in that case, I will go with Vern Karn to inspect
wait.
the thing.
Do
I guess
Yeah,
I
that reads
selected.
like, hey, I'm
I
walking
selected
here.
Hermit,
Karn's
so
gonna be
Hermit
at home with
would
this
be good
statue.
at it.
Fuck.
I don't know why I'm great at religion.
Don't know shit.
He doesn't bleed, man. What are you gonna do?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me.
Are you
See.
giving me advantage or are you?
I'm gonna roll separately because I've got
I went
Yeah,
through 'em
it'd
all.
be a
I've got
separate.
one more than you.
But Karn,
Mine
looking at this
is-
statue, it just looks to be a statue, just kind of like
Whoops.
holding there.
Why
It'd be
did it-
23. It's your first.
Yeah, it'd be the 23. Damn.
It's 23.
Damn.
24.
No.
But kind of looking at the statue, Karn, again, this is the Morning Lord, a sun god. You're like, fuck that. Like, absolutely nobody in the Underdark ever would worship the Morning Lord.
It's like the opposite. It's like
the
the opposite
literal
of what you
opposite of any religion down in the Underdark. But what's it called? But Nissa, you look at this statue, kind of like reaching outwards. You kind of get a general direction of where it's pointing, and looking at this statue, you know what it's a depiction of. It is the depiction of the Morning Lord himself, and he's positioned with his hands outreached, not for a hug, but towards the east, towards dawn itself, as he's embracing dawn.
I would maybe like walk up to the statue, kind of like give it a once over and look at it. I think I'll describe what you just said. I'll dictate that to them. However, I'd like to, because I'm tall. How tall does it stand above me? Because I'm close to 7 foot ish.
It doesn't stand taller than you. It's about 6.5 feet tall. You stand
Okay.
above the statue.
So I'd like to stand behind the statue and look towards the east. What's the landscape in front of me in the east? Is there an array of trees? Is there like a depression in the grass or the snow? The apex of the pond? What do I see facing east?
Well, from there, staring towards the eastern section, you see kind of like the wall where it kind of ends and meets with the mountain itself, and like as you look upwards, it's towards the abbey. This like large like hillside where the abbey is like clutched into the mountainside itself, like tucked away into the mountain.
So the Morning Lord statue is facing the abbey.
Towards the abbey, yeah.
Interesting. I guess I'll say out loud that I was hoping that maybe the statue would have pointed to a direction which to head, but short of the abbey, I don't know how useful this will be in this moment. While I'm next to it and I'm inspecting it from behind, is there anything about it that would show signs of damage, wear of like people touching it, like trying to manipulate the statue to find something?
Sure. Kind of taking a look around. The statue itself is just kind of worn and weathered by the elements. The Morning Lord got a dumpy, but besides
It's like
that,
just his ass is more weathered. Like
yeah, everybody been like rubbing it for good luck.
Yeah, for good luck. Yeah.
But no, it just seems like the statue. There's no like manipulation to it. It's pretty like
It's just yeah.
sturdy
It's perfect.
statue.
He's currently facing east right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Face
so he
towards
is
east.
facing that direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's facing the correct direction.
All right.
But besides that, you kind of see the shimmering pool, this gazebo. It's weathered and worn. It's frail, but the protection from it is like the high walls and the mountainside. There's not much wind here.
I would like to go and investigate the pool, if I may.
Sure. Looking at the pool itself, you're not sure how it's fed, how this water is healed. But it shimmers and sparkles in a more unnatural way.
Does it look like that? Like, is it wrapped all the way around the shrine, up and around?
What, the gazebo?
But yeah, so I'm looking at like the picture, and it has like this like almost like a river that like goes up and around the entire shrine. Is it that, or is it like a pool?
It's a pool, so it's just like the northern side of the pool. It's this large pool. In front.
Okay,
So
that's
you're
the
walking
big
from
one.
just like grass road, and then it's the gazebo and this massive pool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is it steaming like the picture? Like is that steaming?
It is steam. It's a like a light steam. So
Just
you know
like
the temperature of the water.
versus
Yeah.
the cold of the air.
Yeah. It's very crisp air, and it's a little warmer than it's not frozen, which is something. It is very cold here. So after some time, maybe the lake should have frozen over, but this little pond is not.
Is it? This may be a bad idea, but I think she'll come get real close to the shore. And is there a way I can find like a stick or something that's around me?
Sure,
That
you
I
found a
may
stick.
use
Probably
to
have a
poke
stick.
at the water.
Sure. Can I poke the water with the stick?
Is there anything magnificent, peculiar, magical about the stick in the water that's attached to said stick?
No. But as you kind of like lift the stick out of the water, the kind of water falling from it, you can kind of see it like almost glistens in sunlight that's not there.
Wow.
It seems like almost diamonds that sparkle off of it as it hits into the water and trickles in.
For some reason, this seems like something I want to collect as a specimen. Just
Put
with
it
how
in
cool
the
it
jar.
is.
Put it in the jar.
Hi-ho, there
You
we
guys
go.
are
We'll put
sick.
it in the jar. Hey.
You guys are sick.
Oh, I don't know. Can I tell how deep it is?
You're unsure. As you kind of stick the stick, about like it's a foot long stick, you kind of stick. Does not
on
reach the bottom. Yeah.
Oh shit! I feel like this is one of those Dumbledore thing where they're in that cave and they've got to feed him the water with the
Oh, that's
shell.
brutal. It's a brutal scene.
Yeah, like so it got to drink the water for some reason. We got to drink it to get the sword of Gryffindor or some shit.
No more, please. You have to drink it. Drink it all.
No.
Well, are you gonna drink it?
I want to drink it.
You tell me if you want to drink it.
Drink it.
If you're an animal, then go swimming.
Yeah, well, it's too cold to go swimming, but this looks not like this looks like if this was in a glass, you drink it and you just get pure happiness. Like that's all. That's all I'm thinking.
Can't argue that.
Why
Can
don't we
I
ask
just
the
bottle
town
it up?
people about the water?
May I just bottle it up, just a little liquid of sorts, put it in my jar.
You want to fill your water skin with the water?
Do I have like a specimen jars, like small little vials that I might be able to put it in instead?
I don't know.
We
do
need
you?
health
You tell
potion.
me.
I don't know if I don't know what you do with a health potion bottle when you use it because I've already used my health potion.
That is up to you what you do with it.
Well, listen, Morgan's gonna keep it, or Morel's gonna keep it, and I'll fill the vial up with that magical water.
Okay. You fill the little vial with water.
That's
and you
holy
can take it
water,
out of the
baby.
water.
You want to start hitting demons
As
with
you-
that.
Yeah, and if
As you kind of lift it, it glistens
yeah, I
like
was just gonna
sunlight.
say, if
like,
I lift it, it kind of looks
sparkling
like
through it.
that dice that you have.
Yeah,
that you
it
made us in the
shimmers,
water,
yeah.
kind of shimmers.
And it
a little
shimmers
bit,
and
like
well,
mica.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, that's really.
It's kind of
cool.
hold it there for a moment. You're like, wow. As you're kind of like bottling it, and as you're about to put it away, you notice that the water kind of like begins to become normal water.
Damn.
It stops shimmering.
Okay. I wonder. This seems kind of like there's something to do with the ground or just the water, but it seems to lose its glisten as I removed it, y'all.
When you take it from the pool itself.
Yeah, I'm perplexed. This is.
Well, it does seem to
Maybe
hold
the
some
land
kind of
itself
power,
is
at
blessed.
least in the confines of the pool, right?
Right. I wonder if
So we
it's some
could-
kind of healing pool or something. I don't know.
Should
Yeah,
we try to drink it?
I would say I won't push you to go
I
in,
mean,
but
I
go on.
want to, but last time I touched something, I was able to play music of some sorts of.
Until your fingers bled,
and-
yeah.
and
So
then
I
my fingers
recall.
bled real bad, so I'm not sure if I really want to go and poke the baby.
I mean, I'll drink it. That sounds pretty cool. I'll drink
Oh,
it.
shit.
Brother,
Okay.
drink it, and
I'll
when
drink
you go into it just in case. Well, we have like our crash dummy. I guess what he's here for.
Yeah, it's crashed him. He's 18. He can
Yeah, you're young.
You send
boss. You'll handle it.
Yeah, so he'll drink it.
Khaled, as you kind of kind of take a scoop of water, and it kind of shimmers through your hands and glistens as you kind of take it to your mouth, take a drink. The water is sweet. It's sweet. It smells sweet, and it's fresh and crisp as it goes down your throat. And you're fine. You feel great.
Gotta look back. Tastes kind of good. I'm going to take another handful.
You're gonna taste it. It's still that same sweetness and fresh taste.
We
Yeah.
said the
Does he
bottom of the
seem to
pool.
change in appearance at all? Like his cheeks get flush, or he starts growing a tail or something?
No, but it does feel really good. Like it feels nice.
Makes me more
Yeah.
uncomfortable for some reason. Well, if we haven't found anything else, we have to check this pool. Fella, there, if you're willing, I mean, you're drinking it. Do you mind getting a bit wet? Entering the pool itself? Taking a look around?
I mean, I got a name. It's not Fellow.
Oh, no, I mean, I just wanted to say Kalad because, stopping myself from making a
Ah,
joke.
it's fine. It's fine. So, what, you
Right.
want me to get in?
Well, we're looking particularly for an item of sort, maybe a weapon, something. It's a pool of water, maybe a holy place. So I suppose we should make sure no one is coming to the shrine, looking to pray or something.
Is it a
and
holy
desecrating their,
I was gonna say.
their
Okay.
religion. I just
So-
maybe once the coast is clear,
And I
dip in the pool and see if there's anything beneath the water or at the base or.
So Vernon, I want to point out, you see all this snow around? I don't feel like getting sick. Can someone, like, start a fire or something?
Oh,
Missing
well.
light somebody on fire.
I absolutely can, but I believe I don't know if Guide might have this too, but we have magics to be able to detect anything blessed by the arcane, if you will.
Better actually.
I
So-
don't necessarily have something. Well, I do, but can I just cast locate object?
What are you trying to locate?
That's
A
tough.
sword of sunlight. That's what
I
the
think
card
you have to
described.
have seen
Only
the
because you've
item.
never seen it, or like
The
it's tough. I
spell
don't know
can
how- yeah,
locate
how
a
it works.
specific object known to you as long as you've seen it up close. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. And I'm wondering if a sword of
Hard.
sunlight.
Kind of hard. That's of a particular kind. That's kind of hard.
It is a sword blessed by sunlight.
I mean, if
and
you're
as
ever
the
gonna
card-
use
I would
the
say
fantastic spell
yeah.
locate object. Now's the time.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, that would probably work.
Damn,
1,000 feet.
Before and people.
What were you gonna say, Nessa?
like fucking Juniper never got away with that shit.
We never had
Granted.
descriptions this wood. Good.
Granted, you were in Undermountain, and it was
Yeah,
1,000 feet, so it was like
yeah, you're
curved floor.
Yeah, you're
Nothing
fucked.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing worked in Undermountain like he wanted it to.
To be fair, if you're ever gonna lose like locate object, now is the time. Like it's just not coming up later. Like you might as well fucking make use of it.
No. Yeah, so yeah,
Okay.
he can drop that, and if that is not fruitful, or even if it is fruitful, I will still use detect magic if the group thinks it's helpful.
It is.
Easy enough to do.
Can you use it as a ritual? So you can like start it now while he's looking for shit?
I probably could.
Just to save yourself a
Well, I
slot
can
in
use
case
it.
it
I
comes
can
to
use
it?
it for free as my as
Oh,
verbal. I can use
Yeah,
it
go ahead.
once for
Go
free.
ahead, please.
So I will use it. Think it's gone. So 10 minutes. I'm doing my thing.
Okay. So as you begin your incantations and ritual, Guide, you use locate object. Sword of sunlight. As you kind of focus in, you focus
Crazy
and
artifact.
focus and focus. You feel a pull, and as you
Yeah.
look around to where it is, you see that this pole is underneath the gazebo itself.
Well, I'm diving.
Not the water, the gazebo.
Gazebo. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
where
talking.
the artifact. I mean, this like the statue and shit. That's where it is.
Kneeling down. I'm assuming. Is there a gap underneath the gazebo, like a crawl space?
No.
Going to the floorboards, is there one that I can move?
You'd have to
I-
break the gazebo, yeah.
Oh,
Guys.
Let's just look around.
What?
Guys.
What is it? What's the bad news?
I'm getting a ping from under here, but I don't want to piss off a god.
Well, look. To be fair, we're looking to retrieve a weapon, a holy weapon, in pursuit of felling a dark and terrible creature. Let's just make sure we're not, desecrating anyone else's religion. So we'll just make sure no one's around. And if Lathander has a problem with it, I mean, we'll deal with Lathander, I suppose, at level
We
20.
could also
Yeah, you will.
we could delicately remove the floorboards. It seems that this is in disrepair, so it might be much more simple to take it apart delicately and
Maybe
respectfully.
even make it better when we put it back
What?
together.
What tool proficiency do I need to remove the nails from a board? Carpentry?
Carpentry. You need carpentry.
That's
to-
the
I've got an herbalism kit. I can
That's
help.
close. That's fucking close. That's
Am I
as close as it's gonna
proficient
get.
in
I
carpentry?
have no. I do. I have one.
Do you?
I have a carpenter kit.
Oh!
No shit.
Let do it. Let
Fuck yeah!
So I have a brewer's supplies, carpenter tools, and an herbalism kit. That's what I have.
Bro, it doesn't. This is the
Listen,
only time
There's
it's gonna
the
be relevant.
only time Carpenter Kit is going to be
Yeah.
used. So,
use your fucking
Morel,
kit. Use your kit. Say
without a
what you got.
check needed, as you use your carpentry kit, you're able to slowly pull the boards back off of it. Any boards that do kind of start to bend and fray, you know that you can either repair them or replace them pretty simply. As you kind of begin to move in the direction of guide, Nissa, you don't have to cast your spell. You don't have to burn your free use as you're kind of doing that. As the boards are being pulled away, you do see kind of tucked into like a little spot in the ground. As you kind of uncover the boards, you kind of fold it into what seems to be like this beautiful like blue and silver cloth. You kind of see this where that ping is from.
Guide's picking that boy up and just kind of carefully, not trying to.
It explodes, by the way. Everything
It
explodes.
does
Fireball.
explode for D6 fire damage.
Yep. 20d20 radiant damage as the whole
Awesome.
thing erupts.
See you guys next campaign.
Yep. But as you pick up the kind of the cloth and just carefully unfold it, what you see in front of you doesn't seem to be a sword at all, but it does look like the hilt of a sword. Just the hilt.
Like, is there is just the hilt of a sword?
Mhm.
So where the blade would be, is it snapped?
Nope.
Is there a hole?
There's no blade.
Mm.
Doesn't seem the hilt was made for a blade.
Well,
But is-
yeah.
Huh.
I'm trying not to.
Well, maybe I should use detect magic then in this instance, because maybe this is an item per se, but
Identify
is this
would be the spell.
a
Do you have
identify?
identify?
Again, if this is what we have, that's the only thing there is just that thing, like no sword, just a hilt of a sword.
It's just the hilt of a sword.
Okay, I would say that. I mean, there's no explaining this away as a coincidence. I mean, this must be what we're looking for, but maybe this isn't all of it. I know, given time, we could maybe discover more about this. No need to use a spell or anything. Just time. We'll see. And if this is it, then we'll know.
We have plenty of other cards that, because there's that one, and the other one that's kind of tickling my fancy is the one where it says a garden dusted with snow, watching over by a scarecrow with a sackcloth grin. Look not at the garden, but to the guardian. If the hilt's here, I mean, maybe it's separated throughout the city. If it is in multiple pieces,
Yes, that's possible. So maybe, and honestly, I have this. I'll kind of pull out this like bloodied, dripping branch that looks very ominous. We have more than one thing to spend a bit of time with, and if that, I think I know. Like, do we know DMs? Like, we can spend some like time with this and like come away with like, okay.
Yeah, you can spend an hour. You're spending an hour like
Gotcha.
focusing in on the object. You can attune to it to know it's like what its uses are.
So before we head to the abbot, let's just make sure we know all the cards that we have at our disposal. Let's spend an hour. Let's find a spot. Oh, yeah, now I say let's find a nice. It's midday. Let's find a nice spot somewhere among town, maybe a bench, a park, right? I mean, this is honestly not that bad either. And just sit around and relax for a bit.
if it doesn't make that much of a difference, I'd rather do it kind of here, taking a holy artifact away from a
Fine
site.
with me. Better to find out that it's that it belongs
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
than
If
that
I
it doesn't.
remove it, I imagine we're all standing in the
gazebo.
gazebo. I'm like, I
Morel
don't
is
want to walk
putting the
off
last
this
plank
thing.
down.
He's repairing this motherfucker,
Yeah.
bro. Right. Well, this. Let's
Oh
spin
yeah,
out here.
the fucking villagers would have been pissed if y'all broke
Yeah.
that shit. They would have been pissed. Oh man, they'd have been
Like,
so
Everyone's
mad.
hitting
okay.
hard, like trying to block their view.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
oh, no,
everybody
like,
hates you.
Make it like see if I can find pieces that fell and like repair things. Cause like back in my
Right.
clan, like the type of dwarves we are, we're like kind of forest dwarves. So like we use instead of like stone work,
Stone.
they use
wood.
wood. So that's I think her knowledge and background, she would really be able to like almost refurbish while she's while she's
We're learning a lot passively about like the Star Mountain for morale and Clan Tupelo, which I didn't know that was a thing until this session. So we're learning shit. You motherfuckers are getting loose. Y'all started to just throw shit out there. I'm trying
They're
to
starting
write
to
all
when
throw
we tried
stuff.
to figure out how old we are, I went, whoa, and I went back to my notes and I was like, what does she do? How is she this? How is she
Fair
that?
enough. So look, these villagers are going to be throwing you some money because you're repairing their gazebo. Dean, we're going to spend an hour here
If
Yeah.
anyone,
identifying the hilt, and I'll look at the stick we got from that crazy druid that was there.
Sure. All right. So who was focusing on the hilt of the sword?
I got the stick.
if anyone has any complaints,
Wait, wasn't
Yeah,
there
I
one
think
other thing
he's
we
got
got?
it, right?
So what?
Wait, you said a stick or like
The bloody
staff?
staff.
Is that the staff?
The
It was
staff.
like a staff, but it was like this,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like a staff. It was like
It's just a
bloody.
big stick.
Yeah.
Vernon got stick. Guy
Matter
got.
of fact, if I see this thing bloody, I'm gonna go, Karn. This is actually more up your alley. You could spend some time with it, see if you learn what it does. It seems to be magical in some capacity. I don't think I'll have a need for it. I can see what I prefer, and I'll point to my bow. You can just take a look and see. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll take a look, but like, no offense, like, I don't do magic, you know.
No,
like-
right, you're right. And this isn't sharp at all. It's not gonna draw blood. It's just it literally was bloody when I found it. I suppose I tried to put 2 and 2 together and made 5. But just take a look at it and
Yeah,
see what you think.
This,
I mean,
have
it's a
identified.
lovely piece. I appreciate what it does. So yeah, I'll
It's
fiddle with it, see if I
a
can
gesture,
figure out
a gesture
what it-
of kindness, Con. Please,
Yeah,
for me, you can do it.
I'll go swing it at some things, see what it does.
I would appreciate it.
All right. So you're gonna take the hour without anybody saying anything. Karn is gonna be focusing on this quarterstaff stick thing, and Guide will be focusing on the hilt of this sword.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll
After
be
that,
making
as an
a
hour-
fire chilling or some shit.
Yep. As an hour kind of goes by, as you guys focus in on these artifacts. First, Karn. Karn, you kind of taking the staff into your hand and kind of focusing in and attuning to the weapon. You realize that this is it's called Gulthai's staff. It's made from the branches of the Gulthai tree. It's a blight of it's this like monstrous tree. Its evil makes beasts visibly uncomfortable within 30 feet of it. The staff has 10 charges, regains 1d6 charges at the end of daily at dusk. If the staff is broken or burned to ash, its wood releases a terrible, inhumane scream that can be heard out to a range of 300 feet. All blight that can hear the scream immediately wither and die.
Damn.
Could have been real helpful for your comment.
Yeah, we better snap this shit early, bro.
Well,
Snap-
if all blight within 300 feet, like, so I mean, if we're gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah,
roll up
yeah.
on some more druids,
Well, remember they mentioned Yester Hill, south of the winery, was still like an issue. They still wanted their pine cones. If there's more druids and blights there, boy, we show up and just snap that motherfucker, and it's over.
fuck
Secondly, it has Vampiric Strike. The staff can wield it as a magical quarterstaff. On a hit, it deals a normal quarterstaff damage, but you can expend a charge to regain the hit points equal to the damage dealt by the weapon. Each time a charge is spent, though, red blood oozes from the staff's pores, and you have to make a wisdom saving throw or be affected by short-term madness.
What?
which is not good.
Which is
If
awful.
anyone knows.
Short-term madness in combat is you're out of
Brutal.
combat.
Yeah, it can be anything from like, oh, take your turn to like you run off in a different direction with your action. You fucking hit your ally.
fall to my knees and scream for 3 minutes.
It can be fucked up. So
Yeah,
anytime you use it on a charge, you run the risk essentially of madness.
Being out of
And
combat.
the charge is to just to get health back on a hit.
Right, to siphon the health. And then lastly, Blightbane. While you're attuned to the staff, Blight and other evil plant creatures don't regard you as hostile unless you harm them.
Oh.
That's actually crazy good. You walk into the fucking druid camp as their buddy and snap that bitch. And that's it.
Yeah, burn it, right? You said burn it?
Either break it if the staff is broken or burnt to ash.
Okay. So I only got a few things from it, but what was
Well,
the
here. Boom. That's the staff.
sick?
Hey,
Okay.
it is.
Go for
Just want to take a quick note on it.
Yeah, it's there. The notes all there.
The Golthias tree.
Second,
What?
the hilt of the sword. Guide, as you're focusing on this hilt of the sword, you find that it is a legendary weapon. The Sunblade.
Oh, baby.
The Sunblade appears to be a longsword hilt, but while grasping it, you can use a bonus action to cause a blade of pure radiance to spring into existence. Or you can make the blade disappear. While the blade exists, the magical longsword has the finesse property. If you are proficient with short swords or longswords, you are proficient with the Sunblade. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage made with this weapon, which deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage. And when you hit an undead, the target takes an additional 1d8 radiant damage. This luminous blade emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for another 15 feet. This light is considered sunlight. While the blade persists, you can use an action to expand or reduce the radius by another 5 feet each. The maximum is 30 feet, and the minimum is 10.
Dang.
And lastly, again, it is a finesse weapon. You can use your choice between strength or dex for attack and damage rolls. You have to use the same modifier for both. And that is the Sun Sword.
That motherfucker beast, boy.
Yeah, that sword's ridiculous.
Eat.
Oh, that's cool.
And Carter's like, a finesse longsword.
Yeah, so full transparency, out of game, we should talk about it in game. We're gonna decide who's gonna have what. If anybody wants the staff, that's an option. And then if anybody wants the sun sword, it can go to almost like anybody. Strength dex, as long as you can use weapons, almost like you can use it, and it's gonna be useful regardless. Sunlight, and then it does extra damage to undead. So as soon as you hit Strahd or zombies or vampires spawn, I mean it's juice. That's one of the card readings down, DM. Cross that motherfucker off the list.
That's a card reading down.
Congrats, guys. GG's, we did it. We did it.
GG's, y'all did it. That's what you need. If you
Yeah.
don't have this sword, you're pretty fucked. Really.
Yeah, this helps. This helps a lot. So out of game, who the fuck wants to use what, if at all?
So we're gonna take a break. 8:45. Perfect time to take a break with the swords.
You're mandated.
The union mandated break. I've
Union
been-
mandated.
Been
Perfect.
7. So, but yes. Also, while you're kind of sitting there, guide, with this kind of sword, you feel the sword is sentient, and you feel like a warm hum as you like grasp this sword.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
gonna be
multiple
level, yeah.
voices now.
You have 2 voices in your head.
No,
Yeah.
guys, hey, we're gonna have a conversation with 6 people in his head, bro. We can't have that. That's not good. It's not good for the guy.
But
I
it
love
doesn't
it.
speak a language. It only transmits emotions
Emotion.
through it.
Yeah, emotion. Sick. Super sick.
Well, and it's a finesse. It's a finesse.
Finesse, yeah. So it means you can use dex or strength, whichever you like prefer, essentially.
Yeah,
So-
I like that. That actually makes it allowable for me, which is
Yeah,
like,
true. 'Cause, yeah,
It's
'cause
funny
Spartan
because
can
you
kinda-
don't like the
can kinda
sun.
like-
I know it's like everything.
It jumps in the
Yeah, that's
That's
kind of
really
hard.
funny. So he'd
Let
be
me show you
really,
guys.
really
I
like
told Lane I'd show you guys our new dog, so I have to show you the new dog before everybody gets off. So stay here for just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yes.
The big pupper.
Happy.
The big little pupper. The longsword.
Long cord.
Carnes, what? You're about 3 feet?
Yeah.
That's around that size. It's
Oh,
about a
it's
foot.
good.
It's about 2 feet. Yeah.
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 Well, it's just a hilt. So the hilt just looks like it's a club in my hand.
Yeah. Then you have to use a bonus action. The sword. It's this fucking lightsaber.
don't know if you fucking
Bonus
saw it.
action.
This is Broomhilda.
Oh,
She's a sweetheart. I think she's kind
Fluffer.
of cross-eyed, low-key. I'm not gonna lie to you, but she's a sweetheart. She's a nice kid. She's gonna be about 110 fucking pounds in like 2 months. But
She's gonna be huge,
yeah,
bro.
she's
The
gonna
thumb is so big.
She's already massive. She's a Great Pyrenees puppy. Yeah, so she's
she's gonna be big.
yeah, she's giga huge already. She's something else. She be biting shit. Anyway, I just want to show y'all because I told Lana.
She's so wonderful.
She looks so soft, bro.
Yeah, bro, she's like a cloud, bro. I'm telling you, like a cloud.
What's her name?
Broomhilda or Hildy is what we're calling her.
Hildy.
Yeah.
Broomhilda.
Broomhilda.
What? Okay.
It is bathroom break. Y'all enjoy.
Let's
We'll
go to
return.
bed. Bedroom, yes.
Why did I make this here? Oh, never mind. Fuck that. All right. So, with that being said, with your kind of short reprieve, like figuring out these magical artifacts, who's taking what is the question. You guys can discuss amongst yourself who's taking hand of the sun sword and the staff.
We had briefly discussed it. I feel, though it's up for debate, I'm not locking anything in. I feel Khan is maybe the best fit for the sword based on what Guide has said about how it works. As for the staff, Morel, I know you have a bunking stick that you hold fond. If it's simply a quarterstaff, I think this might be that, but a bit better. Though it does run the risk of some kind of terrible effect on you. You don't have to, from what I understand, you don't have to give in to that ability or use it if you don't want to. So it serves to be a magical weapon that bypasses resistances. Would have been of great help during the werewolf battle. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much
We are going to break that thing.
Eventually, but the big boons to you are, one, whenever you're in the presence of blights, they don't think you're an enemy immediately. So unless you like hit them, the blights won't attack you. So we're fighting and stuff. But yeah, so you can use a charge on your turn, and whenever you deal damage, so you bonk someone, you get that much health back to you as well. But every time you do that, you have to roll to save, and if you fail, it makes you like mad. And short-term madness, while it's like short-term, it's like goes away pretty quickly. It can like fuck up your whole turn. So like as soon as that turns over, next turn you might be useless because you use that. So essentially, you wouldn't use the you wouldn't use the health return unless you had to. Is the idea like you really
The
wouldn't
wisdom saving throw though? What's your wisdom save?
True, yeah. If you think you can just beast through it.
So
that's an
we can
option.
fight through it, yeah.
A
Yeah.
+8 on wisdom saving throws.
What's the DC?
It's pretty safe. DC 12.
12. So I mean, you run the risk of like less than, I don't know, what's that? Less than 25%. And you could be like, I'm gonna heal up and roll and probably save. It's just if we're ever in dire straits and you're like, oh fuck it, I'll gamble it. That's when it'll fuck up, and you guys.
And the gamble is a D10 worth of minutes. 1 D10 worth of minutes. You do have to do something, which is normally not fighting.
Yeah, essentially for a D10, which means the whole combat, you could be just crying in a corner while everybody else is fighting. We're like, Morel, help us, and you're like, fuck you, crying in a corner.
You're like, I will not.
Yeah, it's nutty. But again, the good thing is you don't gotta use that. That's the one bad thing about it. You never have to have it come up at all. It's just it makes beasts uncomfortable in your presence, which sucks for morale because you're of nature. And beasts are like wolves and birds, etc., etc.
But also like mice. Bartholomew, he's not talking to you anymore.
So if mice see you with the staff, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't trust this bitch at all." But
no shot. They are magically inclined to not like you.
It's more like the staff has like it gives them bad vibes.
Bad aura.
Yeah,
it's a bad aura.
Terrible vibe.
Yeah.
It radiates evil, right?
Yeah, not necessarily evil, but like it radiates the same entities that an evil blight tree, like the essence of the blight tree.
But animals don't like it; they don't fuck with it at all. So I mean, I guess it is.
That's another thing. As a druid, would you be wielding a blighted object?
Now that I think about it, that's kind of hard. Actually, I don't know. That's tough.
Well, that's up to Morel as a character to decide, but it is a blighted artifact.
We're breaking that thing soon.
Yeah, that being said, Morel, use it if you want to, because if we decide to go to, what was it, Yester Hill, where he was like, oh, there's more druids, and they stole one of our pine cones, we assume there's another million blights there. Whoever has it is breaking it, inevitably. Like, that's the plan, is to just snap that thing. True.
Sure.
But not
Morel,
which
is really good for you as like a nature, like a wood, specifically like a wood dwarf. Roll me just a history check.
I mean, I could be a backup.
History or nature? Whichever's better. I think they're both intelligent. Okay.
Oh, you didn't.
Nice.
Yo, my wisdom's not great.
Okay. So during the time of identifying it, you knew that this artifact, this thing, was derived from the Gulthias tree. You knew of these trees as they are plants that are infused with supernatural evil. And these trees, being so evil, they were able to spread corruption to nearby plants, generating blights. That's why blights exist, is because these trees themselves ooze so much evil that it corrupts the plant life around.
Cool.
I wasn't here for that, but I know what you said.
Yeah. So when these trees emerge in forests, they create, like, from beautiful, luscious forests to toxic, bramble-filled wastelands. Like when these trees sprout.
You talking about Guthias trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're fucking hyper evil trees.
I know what you said.
Yeah, they're hyper evil trees. Yeah, no, 100%.
So holding on to it but not attuned to it, which is two separate things, right? You're not gonna attune to it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We just know you have it, just in case we need it.
Yeah,
right?
somebody's.
I guess you don't have to attune to it to snap it and kill the blights in the area, right? Hold on to it, bro. Just in case.
Well,
Fuck it.
If you've got too many things to carry, Nissa can also carry it, but I don't know. She's not necessarily one with nature, but she's a hippie chick. She drew, that's just, she's a hippie, so she might not know about the tree itself, but if it, daggers and my ilqua or whatever it's called.
These hands.
That's a sorcerer you're talking to. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
What are my weapons? These hands.
the
mean,
weapons are get away from me. That's the weapons for a sorcerer.
Yeah,
Get away
that's
from
right.
me.
My weapons are this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The dash action. That's her weapon. Is get away from me.
If Nissa pulls out a dagger as like her last defense, you guys are in a bad place.
Yeah, that means we fucked up whatever the encounter was. We fucked it up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the Gulthias staff.
Okay.
And then
bigger
who has
question,
the sun sword?
The
The big
sword.
question is who has the sword of
Anyone
sunlight?
else, like, want it? Like,
I think Brittany wants it. I don't think Nissa needs it.
Joyce wants to hold the sword.
Yeah, I want.
Brittany
Trevor
wants
definitely
to
wants
use
the sword.
I
Trevor,
want
I think
Everybody wants the sword.
Everybody
In-game.
wants the sword.
I think in-game best fits is Trevor or Karn. Arguments there for both, 100%.
Do we want to
But-
have an in-game dialogue for it? Because that might be funny.
That's
I mean,
true. We can talk it out.
it's only a thing for me because of the finesse aspect
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
Like,
which is huge. But again, you run the debuff of the sunlight in your face as a deep gnome, and et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, the
Deep gnomes
argument
do not
there.
have debuffs for sunlight.
Oh well, look, brother, put it in your fucking pocket.
He's
He
not,
just
he
doesn't
doesn't
like
have
it.
sunlight sensitivity.
Yeah, he doesn't have sunlight
Okay,
sensitivity.
nice.
He just
Okay,
doesn't
then,
like it.
then-
I just personally fucking hate it.
Yeah,
That's good.
personally,
Yeah, I guess
don't like
yeah.
sunlight on your skin, but it doesn't
Yeah.
negatively affect him.
Morally, it's rough for you to hold on to. I think it's best in your hands. If you have a +5 to your dex or strength, one of those go they maxed out.
I have, my dex is maxed out.
Yeah.
When I rage, it's my strength takes over, but
Yeah.
my
Even then.
fact that I
Even then.
have the +2, it
Yeah,
evens out.
it's finesse. You don't have to use. I mean, again, you have the option. But again, I can see it the same thing in Trevor's hands. I mean, he's a paladin with already an aura with a
Yeah.
sword of sunlight in his hands that has an additional D8 to undead. While he does D8s with his smite. Like I can see the stacking there. it's not necessary. So
But
I
I
think
can take
arguments for
multiple
both ends,
attacks
but-
around.
Yeah, there's arguments both ways. I
Yeah.
say Karn wins it out, but I don't make the call. So I think it's a group decision ultimately.
Well,
and then
another
you
thing
guys
for me is it's my only way to do damage against certain creatures at this
Ooh.
point. So that's my other
Right,
big-
yeah.
I just want to make it clear, guys. I have
He's-
no means of doing damage to any creatures at all. But yes, your point's correct. It's magical and it works.
Yeah.
You should definitely take it. That makes sense to me. Because you're right. Trevor can magic weapon and smite and stuff. You have nothing. So
What are we doing with Bubby's sword?
The Bubby's longsword or cursed longsword.
Bubby,
Babushka.
Oh,
Yeah.
who-
The
But
Crimson
it's
Longsword.
She has a magic longsword.
oh yeah, the blood rage sword or some
I
shit.
imagine she'd probably keep it on her. I mean, I unless people wanted it, like you know how people like rest with their items.
Fast.
Maybe she.
Well, to clarify, we all hope she's coming back, so I don't think anybody will be robbing her yet. Now,
No.
once, if we find out that she can't come back, well, then we can talk about who's taking the sword and who's got the gold in her pocket. But we're not there yet. We're not ready to make
What is
that
the
call
curse
yet,
on the
man.
sword?
She's already left her gold to someone.
You don't really know what the curse is. She didn't really
Oh, okay.
discuss it. She
recall-
figured that it was cursed.
Yeah,
As it was meta, you know it's cursed.
yeah.
But like
okay.
none of you really know it's cursed.
Well, look, Vernon would not feel comfortable taking anything from her until the possibility of her coming back is 100 gone.
Yeah.
And I have to know that
Yeah.
she can't come back.
Yeah.
After that, DM, look, we'll talk about it. But you're asking me too
Okay.
early. I can't make that call.
All right. Can't make that call yet. All right.
But huge.
So,
I mean,
with
we
that
got
being
things
said-
down, we got the sword.
Yeah, you got one fucking thing down, which is great. So with that being said, though, what are you guys doing? It is midday in Crest. The wisps and flurries of snow that kind of gets picked up by the wind, kind of making these spirals of shimmering snow. But you see the daunting task of not climbing, but there's a trail up to the Abbey of St. Markovia. As you're kind of sitting in that hour, you notice that the bell from St. Markovia rings. This kind of boom, boom, and you hear something. You hear what kind of chills you to the bone. During the bells gonging at the abbey itself, you hear the whips and howls and screams and churnings from inside of the abbey itself that kind of echoes through the valley down into the city of Crest. Like these unhuman, monstrous, feral sounds that bark and howl and scream and yelp.
Okay.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
You said it like that's normal, DM. Hey, really quick. What the fuck are you talking about? You said the whips and howls. We hear whips, howls, like yelping from up on the
From
mountain.
in the abbey, coming from the abbey. Correct.
So, in response to, or that is the sound.
That's into like it. You hear the bell, and then as the bell is ringing, you hear like this crazy noises coming from the
Yeah,
abbey.
man, that sounds good. Okay, cool.
So Cal is
Where you're
at the party. So how fast are we gonna go in there? Are we doing like a fast, loud, and hard kind of thing, or are we gonna stealth in?
Well, no stealth necessary. We don't know anything about this abbey, and to be fair, we don't know what the context of those sounds were. In spite of hearing them, and as terrible as they sounded, we can't make assumptions solely because we've only heard from the holy man of Valaki that this person here is capable of great things, and the abbey was a place of holiness and sunlight and radiance. I don't want to jump to the worst assumption, so I would say without stealthing, which would immediately put us in a position where if we were discovered, they would think we're up to no good. We're going to approach. Let's approach the abbey, enter, and if anything is not above board, I mean, look,
Kill
I
them.
know how we operate. We will handle it inevitably, right? If we need to. But let's just see what's going on first before we do. Important to mention also, secondary topic, card readings turned out to be true. I didn't believe them all the way, at first. But now we're here. We have something that seems to be useful. But make sure we pay attention to the rest of them. Just keep those in mind.
Got cold.
It's going cool.
Right.
Madam Ava was right. I didn't believe.
Well, maybe before we continue this out of character, maybe with that in mind, would we have revisited the tarot readings after finding that this one was true?
We should
Maybe
talk about it.
revisit, in game, but above table, we
Right.
had maybe discussed about.
Read us in, Nissa. What do we got? What are you thinking?
Oh, I don't remember what they
I
are.
have.
Pull them up. Pull them up. Tell
We're
us.
in our notes.
I have them.
Just
Where are they
Good as up.
anyway?
I think
They're in. We have a tab for them. The card
Yeah,
reading.
the
like
card
in your
reading.
journal. You should have a tab for them.
Card would light that thing up once and realize that weapon's not for him.
Bro, sweet Jesus, that is bright on my screen. This thing has been handled. It's been handled.
So I'm gonna forfeit the Sunblade to Trevor. I'm gonna let him have it. because I just don't, because I can't sneak with it. I can't sneak up with someone to that.
No, you cannot.
Oh, God.
As soon as you turn that bitch on, you are bright light.
That's a good point. Trevor, it's bestowed to you. That's an honor, man. It's a big honor.
Nope.
Maybe
Thank you,
it'll,
thank you.
it'll make you a better
Huzzah.
man. The emotions communicating with you will make you a calmer man.
I mean,
What's
first
this
part.
kindness you're talking about? Get the fuck out of here with that.
as you grab it, you feel emotions just like conquer everything, kill everything. Revenge.
I think
That's great. That's good news.
We did have a card that talked about going to the dragon's lair, which we did
Yep.
talk about quite a bit.
And we know where that's at, so that is on the list of things to do. And now we know it should take precedence because we know these card readings at least have some validity
And
to them.
Was it south or was it just east of where we were?
It's-
I forget.
From where we are now, it's east and then south, so it'll be back toward the Locky and then maybe a
South,
day
right.
off the main path.
Right. All right.
Main thing being, again, we know now that they're true, so there's no reason for us not to go to. I think we learned it was called Argenvost.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did.
Well-
No reason for us not to go there at some point.
It might be because the second card alludes to a garden dusted with snow. I wonder if there's any other areas that would be snow covered because we're surrounded by it. Maybe the
Well,
garden.
Remember, we talked to
off of here.
someone else told us that the Baratok Mountains southward were also like snow covered. They were
Oh,
cold. So I guess there's an altitude difference in both regions. So here in Crest, but also southward as well. So there's really no telling. We just don't know.
I see. Okay. Wow, this is quite exciting.
It is a little bit, yes. The prospect of getting out of here is exciting, and it looks like we might have the tools to do so. So the Scarecrow Snow-Covered Garden is on the back burner because that could be in a couple places. The first one is something about a long, winding road deep in the mountains, and we learned something about that. I won't pull it up now. We learned something about that at some point. I'll find it later.
I think we found a place on the map to go to. Actually.
Yeah, I think we were like pointed in a direction. The fourth one, we know exactly where it's at, so that might be like place number 2 to go to. Because by the way, no reason for us to go rush to Valaki. Arena's not fucking here, and it's a festival. Fuck that. Who cares?
Mhm.
And then the last one is in the castle. That's just like where Strahd is. And I mean, look, we will be looking for him eventually, but we're not there yet. So we'll save that one. So it looks like Dead Dragon House is on the to-do list. But first, the Abbey. Let's see about the Abbey.
Yep. Let's do it.
See a man about a dead lady.
Yeah, true. A 100-plus-year-old man who's a little bit weird. Hopefully not kinky in any way. DM, right? DM, right? DM. No, you were grinning too hard.
He didn't
All right, we're
say
gonna go. Yeah, he was grinning way too hard. We're gonna do the Abbey.
Say no.
He didn't say. I heard whips and howls. That's all I'm saying. So let's. We're gonna head up. Let's head up the
All
mountain
right.
to the Abbey.
Hey, let's go to the Abbey, huh? Let's go to the Abbey, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a drink, but I can hear you from the kitchen.
All right. As you guys begin the winding road up to the mountain, the switchback road hugs the cliff and 10 foot wide, covered with loose gravel and chunks of broken rock. The ascent is slow and somewhat treacherous as the air grows colder as you go near the top. It's about a 400-foot climb up this like kind of mountain peak. It's pretty high. As it gets colder and colder. But as you make it near the top, you see the road from the village climbs above the mist to the wide ledge of which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between 2 small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of jeweled stone, held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey appears quiet. Its 2 wings are joined by a 15-foot high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer northern wing, which also spouts a chimney billowing with gray smoke. And as you approach, you see this kind of rusted iron gate that doesn't seem to be locked. And you kind of hear the low, like, sounds like growls of 2 what seem to be the guards.
So has the crazy sounds from the bells have completely stopped?
Oh, a
before?
while ago. A while ago, yeah.
Okay.
It
'Cause
only happens when the
Trevor-
bells ring. Is that right?
Yeah, only happens when the bells ring. And Trevor had to spend another hour to attune to the artifact, so it's been like an hour and some change
Okay.
since you guys went up there.
Do we see the guards, or I don't know if I remember hearing correctly, but we.
I know I threw a bunch of information at you. When you approach, so just to simplify it in the best case, in the best sense, as you approach the abbey, off of this like stone pathway, you see this iron gate with two large, basically buttresses, and the low graveled wall. The gate itself seems to be like it's kind of old and on rusty hinges, but it doesn't seem to be locked. There's no locking mechanism. It seems kind of almost cracked, a little bit open, so you could enter if you so choose. And you hear, just because a lot of you are very passively have a lot high passive perception, you hear what sounds like almost grumbling or growling, like somebody's snoring, but you don't know, you can't see.
Oh, it's hard to. Okay.
Yeah,
As
it's
we
hard to tell.
round like the hill, like as we get up there.
Well, you're like right up on, almost right up on the gate itself.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, I think I prefer to, stay. I'll stay, even though I know I'm out of character. I'm charismatic, but I think Nissa probably likes to be as close to Babs as she can while we're traveling.
So let's-
Babs
yeah,
is still with us, right? We still have the cart with us, or did the boys take the cart?
Boys have the cart.
Yeah, at this point, it was like a bring the body up the hill type shit. Like, we
Yeah,
didn't have
like
the
you guys
cart.
are carrying Babushka. at
Yeah.
this
Okay, so we'll send it. Let's send a group ahead to do some of the conversing, maybe figure out the situation, and then we'll have some in the back who have a babushka, and then just in case, who wants to kind of be in the front, see what's going on, and maybe talk should it come to that.
And can I ask a question real quick?
Mm.
Why are you carrying a body?
Mm. I told you back on the path here. One of our party members, someone very dear to us, met it on a tragic end on our journey during a battle, and we've heard that this man here, the person inside this abbey, can perhaps return her to life. So we're here to see if it's possible. That's why we're here. That's why we're carrying a body.
I mean, that's cool and all, but you've heard of the old saying, right?
What's the saying?
What's the old saying?
Only the dead find peace. But yeah, let's go kick down this door.
Oh my God.
So, not all that helpful, but all right, yeah, sure. Well, first off, no one said kicking down a door. None of that's happening. We are here on a favor. We're hoping this man says yes to raising our friend from the dead. So let's not kick down the door. Let's knock upon it first.
And
Right.
if he doesn't, we rough him up a bit.
Well,
No.
I don't imagine that would persuade him to bring her back from the dead. So let's just see the situation. I'll tell you what. You are the kind of guy who'd be great in hanging back there with the body and a couple other people. We'll send some others to the front.
I mean, dead bodies kind of creep me out, but that's cool.
Fantastic. I'm thinking
Oh.
Trevor. I'm thinking Khan. I'm thinking this guy, all with the body in the back. Morel can come up. Nissa can definitely come up if she wants. Guide is okay. We'll let Guide come up as well. I would say he guides 70-30, but he can come up as well.
Yeah, just moments.
He
Yeah.
does have his moments.
Did Karn ever give Khaled his name, or did he say, "Do you bleed"?
Y'all had introductions.
Mm.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, we
Okay.
changed, man.
Yeah, you had intros.
Okay.
Yeah, I would advise that our newfound fellow use his exquisite skills for protecting the cart, the resources, and the party from any upcoming passers-by, if you will.
You scare people, kid.
Scare
So,
people.
As
I mean,
you
I don't try to.
approach the abbey, make it to the gate itself. As you kind of, what are you doing?
So I would say we leave, like I said, some people in the back. We don't have to all approach, especially if we hear
Yeah.
like noise.
You have people in the back with the cart with
I'll
Babushka, but
pull
the
up
people
with
approaching, you approach to the gate itself.
Yes.
What are you doing?
So we hear
At the gate.
snoring, the gate's closed.
The gate is closed, but it is not blocked.
Gotcha. It's like a jar. Okay.
Yeah, it's a jar.
If everyone's okay, I mean, I'll open the gate. We just enter. We have no reason to think this is anything but just.
You
I don't think. I
believe
wouldn't
Guide
assume.
hears like growling when we approach, right?
Yeah.
Can I roll an
It's-
active perception check to see if anyone's looking at us from the
Yeah, and I'll do the same to see if we can discover the source or anything. But I don't want to make it look like we're approaching like ready to fight. I want it to be more like, again, because mind you, we're asking for a favor if we get here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just look like we're
Yeah.
curious and we're pulling
So
out.
Hands
these
up.
walls,
Yeah,
so
hands
these
up.
walls
We're
are not like the walls of Kresk. They're not like fortified walls. They're like stone walls, just like built stone.
Oh,
like
just
rock
like
on top of rock. Yeah,
brick.
yeah, kind of like that. Even more crude. It's like just stone wall, like
Yeah.
stone, just like slapped on mortar, another stone, slapped on mortar, stone, and they're only 5 foot high.
Okay.
And this is a
Can I just
the
look
place
over?
we're actually walking.
Yes, you can just look over it.
If
As
if
they're only
he's
5
doing
foot
an
high.
active perception check, if he's doing an active perception check, I think whatever that version of check, I could just like
Yeah.
Heel
Yeah,
over
you kind of look
peers
over.
over the wall.
Yeah, as you kind of peer over the wall, you notice that the two kind of like buttresses, these like outbuildings, they seem to be, they don't have any windows on the outside. It's just a doorway on the inside. You can't see inside them from your like current vantage point, but whatever the snoring is coming from these. It's the guards that are probably in there are sleeping. But as you kind of look over the wall, I have a picture of what you kind of see. Well,
No
that's
way
what
you
you,
picture
yeah, I have it. I got the picture
really is
of what
him.
it looks like.
It really is him. I respect that.
But that is the abbey you currently see. From exactly that road, from the gate. You see this abbey, you see a grave site to the right of it. Kind of this long landing graveyard. And you can't really see too much further into
It
it.
kind of like continues on to like the abbey
Yeah,
proper.
To the abbey proper, yeah.
Is
It seems just to be like the outer gate.
Is there
Where's the
doorbell?
sorry, go ahead.
Is there a doorbell? Is there a knocker? On the
No.
Anywhere? Okay.
No,
Where's
not
the
it.
Yeah,
crying coming
as-
from? Is it coming from the cemetery, or is it just like in general, like are the growls you said or something, or like nearby?
Coming from the outhouses at the gate itself.
Okay.
well, Guy, did you want to say something?
Do I see anything like through the
With his check?
bars? Let me.
I was gonna say, did you roll?
No, like,
Not
you
bad.
didn't
Hey.
roll. You didn't
All
roll,
right.
King.
19.
19.
Oh.
Looking through the gates and stuff, you see what you see. You kind of see the abbey itself. You see the picture, basically, of what you see. Kind of just half of the graveyard itself. And then you see kind of off into the distance the curtain high wall. It joins the two wings of the abbey. You see two guards that stand up atop of them. And like the fog kind of obscures what they look like, but they just seem to be standing there.
So I think I misunderstood what this is. The Abbey is an estate.
Yeah, the abbey's a
Someone's-
massive
Yeah,
building.
it's a
Yeah.
massive.
Okay.
structure.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
case, pushing open the gate a little bit, like also knocking on it, you know, not being loud and like annoying, but like if you've ever walked onto someone's property and you're
Yeah.
supposed to be there, you're just
Yeah.
kind of making your presence known.
So as you kind of reach for the gate and start to open it, you hear the loud from the winding of the hinges, the rusted hinges, as the gate begins to wind open, and the growling and the mumbling kind of stops and as the two people roll out from
I'm
the
excited.
outhouse.
I'm excited
And-
to see how you do this, buddy.
What you see before you kind of shocks you. As you expect two humanoid guards, what you see before you are nothing human at all. What you see before you are two humanoid yet animal-like creatures, one of which kind of almost walks on all fours. You see, let me throw the description up. You see about standing 4 feet 9 inches tall that kind of squats instead of standing upright. He looks like a beardless dwarf with patches of donkey flesh covering his face and body. He has one human ear and one wolf ear and a protruding wolf snout and fangs. His arms and hands are human, but his legs are feet are leonin, and he has a donkey's tail. The other stands about the same height. The left side of her face is covered in like what seems to be like lizard scales, while the right are tufts of gray wolf fur. Between the tufts is pale human skin that's like right down the middle. On the eyes that is feline, and her hands resemble like cat paws with opposable thumbs. And as they kind of both look at you, like, who goes there?
I would like to. Is there a history check? Do you think I with my animal background, like that somehow I would know what this thing?
Oh my god!
I don't believe it. I don't
Jesus.
believe it. It really is him. He's got pictures for everything.
Oh, fuck. What were you saying, Mora?
Is like a history check thing that I might be able to figure out, like that this is
Oh.
an animal?
Oh no.
Yeah, this is fun.
This is a whole.
But to be fair, in the Roy's question, they do look like animals in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like
They have animal body parts, but it seems to be mixed and matched pieces of animal.
I see. But
Bits
yeah,
of
just
wolf,
like one
bits of cat, bits of lion, bits of
Gotcha.
donkey. The other has like lizard and wolf and human.
all combined in a way.
They're all like mixed matched.
Holy shit! Who stitched you together?
You're not here.
Yeah, thank God, by the way, because Carter goes, "What the fuck is that?" I go, "Hey, man." Hello there.
What do you want?
Well, yes, right. We mean
What?
inspiration, DM. That was good. That was good. I'll let you slide. That was good. We mean you no harm. We are simply here to talk to the abbot. We heard there was a holy man here in this church who could perhaps perform resurrections and perform miracles. We come as humble adventurers, bringing, I think, wine. I think we did bring some, hopefully, up.
Yes. Yes.
We're bringing wine to the abbey to ensure that, well, things could continue on as they are here.
Come on in. Come.
Lovely. I look back at the group like, fuck. Like it's
Yeah,
over.
right.
It's all over for me.
I admire the enthusiasm.
As the one kind of like in the donkey-esque wolf kind of like starts to hobble along. The other one seems very quiet. Kind of just like keeps to herself and just kind of eyes you up and down. Doesn't really talk too much.
I'll make sure we do the introductions too. Like Glenn and Venator, and I'll talk to the like donkey guy, then I'll talk to the other one that's quiet. Kind of pleasure to meet you. Again, we mean no harm. I should.
She kind of just like looks and kind of looks at you, like kind of looks you up and down. Secret. And the other donkey one kind of, Otto. Name's Otto. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up.
Right, coming along.
Z
Siegfried and Otto.
Zieg
In auto.
Correct.
They both have the last name Bellevue. These motherfuckers
Bellevue,
cannot be siblings, bro. I'll tell you that right now. They cannot be siblings.
But as they hobble along, you guys begin to make your way into the abbey itself. Looking past, as you kind of break through the wall. What's up?
I was gonna ask, are you guys from Alabama?
From
Have you ever heard of a place called Alabama?
that foreign country, Alabama. That's
From the
cold.
foreign lands of Alabama.
That's cold.
As you kind of make your way into the abbey itself, you see to the right of you, you see a graveyard. You can stunted pine trees grow out from rocky earth in a graveyard near the foundation of the abbey's northern wing. The windows of the structure itself seem cracked panes of leaded glass. Ancient gravestones burst through the thin crusts of snow in the yard, and beyond the low walls, the surrounded graveyards, the ground seems to fall away. The village lies 400 feet below, and the view is breathtaking. It's a gorgeous view of like Barovia.
Can I whisper to the party? I do wonder who is buried here amongst this graveyard. I mean, the abbot's been here for over a century, like I said. I mean, I don't know who would be lying here. Great.
I don't know, but it might
People-
be fun to check out the dates and the names on the way
We
out.
should.
Maybe.
We should.
Maybe
Yeah.
the people from the city below.
Maybe, but even then, I mean.
Well,
from
as a note,
Dimitri
what I
told
will
us-
say,
Yeah, go ahead.
and you just noticing, I didn't really mention it because I forgot. As you walk through the town of Crest, you notice initially from the cottage of the burgomaster, he has a graveyard behind his house. They seem to have many gravestones. And as you walk through the village, each cottage has its own graveyard.
So this is almost like separate entirely from
Entirely,
the crest.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's possible that these might have been past clergymen or
Yeah,
like.
so even more, I would say that I'm even more interested. I mean, these are certainly not denizens of Crest. Maybe people from the Abbey, but seeing what we saw and not making. exactly. Not making any assumptions. Kind of me curious as well. I mean, I wonder who's buried here. Okay, something maybe we check it on the way out. We're a bit busy now. But...
As you make your way towards the Abbey's entrance at the hands of Otto and Siegfried, kind of stumbling along, kind of on all fours, more animal-like than human in any stretch, kind of the slumped shoulders as he moves along. As you make your way towards the Abbey's entrance, you see the 15-foot-high curtain wall that joins the Abbey, the obscurity of the fog as the two guards that stand attention on top of it, still not really able to see through this fog to see them, but they stand ever vigilant, awaiting like your approach. And below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot-tall wooden doors that kind of have reinforcements of bands of steel. And then to the right of it is like a copper plaque that's tarnished away. But as they kind of move towards the door itself, they push and start to push these heavy doors.
Can we look at the plaque?
Yeah, what does it say?
You can't say plaque that's tarnished away. Ignore that, guys, because we're all like, hey, sorry? Like, so what was the plaque?
I bury it. I bury the lead all the time.
Yeah, you tried, but it
tried.
wasn't fast enough.
As you read the plaque, it's easy to read. You read the plaque that says the Abbey's name, and under which these words, they say, "May her light cure all illness."
Her light. Lathander is a man, right? From what we understand?
Lathander is a man.
Oh, but you mentioned
Male
earlier,
dude.
you were talking about the download at the shrine. You said something about like a Markovia? Like some Markovia?
Saint Markovia.
Yeah, the Abbey is the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
Do we know who that is or not? No idea who that is.
No idea.
I guess Markovia could definitely be a female name, sure.
Yeah.
Could be.
But also, important question, extremely important question, as we're entering the Abbey, the back end of the party that's with the body, are they with us or are they separate?
They would be with you guys at this
like
point.
slowly moving in behind us. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay, cool.
They're moving along with the cart.
Just
Everybody's moving in with you.
People here?
making sure.
Are we seeing people around? Are we
You haven't seen anybody. You've just seen these two
Yeah.
individuals.
No. It
There are
is
two sets
dead
of
out here.
guards, right? So there's a set of
Yeah.
guards.
Make a perception check.
Nice, Moreau. Good thinking.
21.
Ooh.
Morel, you kind of look and it's like, man, are those like? There's got to be some people around here. As you kind of see the two guards up there, you kind of look and peer. It takes a moment, but the fog clears ever so slightly, so you can notice these aren't guards. As you kind of look and look and look, the guards are just scarecrows, popped up scarecrows with rusted chain shirts and spears.
Scarecrows.
They're just scarecrows.
The Spider-Man meme. We all point at each other.
Is there a garden nearby?
These,
Hey,
what do you,
we will ask. Maybe not these individuals. Maybe the abbot. Right? These people are very set on the job. Let's just get in.
Maybe we. Well, the only reason why I say maybe we refrain from this particular tarot reading to this person, I say in a theater voice. As we found out from the burgomaster, this person we don't really understand their motive just yet.
And that is important to mention, as these individuals seem, in a theater voice, seem very compelled or driven to see to their jobs. They are devoted. So important to not push against whatever their agenda may be. For now, let's just see what we're here for and why. Because this is new, and I'll kind of gesture subtly. I don't want them to notice, DM, to the donkey man and the lizard wolf woman, and go, not normal. I'm gonna keep that on the back burner. Let's just see what's going on here already.
Would it be a insight check to see, like, this isn't a charm, their, like, enthusiasm, I guess.
what do you mean?
Is it, like, how they are acting towards us popping in and basically
Yeah.
saying, we want to see your boss?
Yeah,
This isn't like
donkey
a Strahd vampire
Yeah.
charm. I've seen that
Okay.
before.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
seems
Roll me
more
an insight check. You can see.
because the
I guess
donkey
it's
guy
like
you mentioned,
a
like Guy
delusion.
said, was like very like, okay, I'll take you in. Like, come on. Like, was very like excited. He's making sure they're not up to no good, which
Sure.
is a great point.
Yeah, with the 24, kind of, you realize that they're kind of guards, but in the sense that they're kind of just simple-minded. That was his job. If anybody comes, you come find me, kind of deal. And they're kind of there. You don't see much complex thought in their like mindset. No trickery. Could they be charmed? Maybe? It's really hard to tell with charmed individuals, but currently they just seem simple. And they're doing a task that they were given. Are they looking at you in a weird way? Definitely.
So so they're opening up the door, and we are now entering.
Yeah, you are about to enter it, and I will read you in.
Okay.
Please read this in.
As the door opens, a thick fog that had filled the courtyard begins to swirl, as it is almost eager to escape the abbey itself. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot-high curtain wall on which stand several guards with their backs to you, or so it seemed. And as the fog begins to clear, it's clear now that all the guards here are just scarecrows. Every single one of them. The wooden door to the north and east lead to the abbey's 2 wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhang walls, are several stone sheds and padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts, pounded into the rocky earth, have iron rings bolted to them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. This kind of like weird humanoid creation, like stitched together with these different animalistic parts. It's quiet, eerily quiet.
Yeah.
As the kind of doors crack open. And as the 2 lead you...
Island of Dr. Moreau vibes.
guys, we're in the wrong place, guys. My apologies. We didn't want to come here. This guy's a freak, bro. He is a freak.
And as you kind of like are kind of moving into the area, the sound is broken. The silence is completely broken by howls and screams that come from the shed.
Bro. Yeah, no, hey, DM, we heard it. We got you. We heard it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
Just making sure you know.
Look, if I'm hearing that, by the way, okay, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. We're good. We're good.
I love that Morgan's in it. Like both of the sisters are just like bury me in clothing.
We're all put the hood on. Just in case.
Crazy because I heard the sound, but it didn't give me the willies until it like reached a certain pitch, and I went, nope.
Yep.
It worked its way up.
That's the whole point.
It's like.
But as you are escorted into the center of the courtyard, Otto kind of looks at you just like, right, you stay right here. I'll get the abbot.
Yes, sir. The abbot, please. Thank you so much for your patronage.
Good. Good. As he kind of like starts to hobble away.
Right. We will not move a muscle. Hey, guys. Whoa. This is back.
Yes,
this is rough.
Are we standing on something or underneath something particular right now?
That's a great
It's
question.
kind of in the middle of the courtyard. You're kind of a little bit away. You're a little ways from like the well, but you're kind of standing there. You see this kind of bat-like humanoid woman that's kind of chained to a post. It seems like her foot is shackled to a post. But you have a moment to do what you want. You have the well, woman shackled.
Time to talk and
a time to talk.
Yeah. Oh, good point, Karn. Did this motherfucker home alone us? Are we standing on a big X? This guy got a lever if we go to the floor?
Failing the ground, you do notice there is kind of an X there.
Guys!
Oh, fuck. What?
Guys, let's move around!
Hey, I'm getting away from the X.
Spread out. We're
Okay,
gonna
spread out a little bit.
I'll help move the cart
secondly-
away from the X.
Sure. Move the card away from the X.
Vernal, so let me get in character, bro, because I've had 6 shots of whiskey. I gotta lock in.
Lock it in, man. You got 30 more minutes. I need you locked in for 30 more minutes.
I'm feeling it. So we'll say, right. So we're here for a purpose. As strange as all this may be, not a crime, and we don't necessarily know what exactly is going on here. Regardless, even if maybe all of this is bad as it looks, I'll gesture to like the bat predator lady in the corner with mandibles. Gently though, I don't want her to see. I was just kind of like, hey, if anything's as bad as it seems, if this man can still perform resurrections, we need to make sure we're on his good side, right? We are amicable. We're willing to talk and discuss, maybe barter, etc. So this is all, strange to us, but maybe not strange in essence. Let's just see if he is capable of what we've heard, and if so, Babushka may come back. After that, we can talk about how wild all of this may be and uncomfortable, and surely investigate what's going on here, because there's much going on here. There's no way of putting it gently. There's also a well, DM, in this room. You said like a well or a bell?
Well, so this is a courtyard. It's an open air
Yeah.
courtyard, and yes, there is a well. Maybe he's pushed you off to a little bit to the left of the well, closer to the woman that's chained up, and like so you're in the middle of the woman chained up and the well to your right.
Okay,
The
so
wells,
well
that's
and
common
woman
in a
thing.
courtyard. Every
Yeah.
manor or castle has a well.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Well, if
I would
his
never
Depending on what's in the
form-
well, if there's a fish person in there, then
Well, exactly my point. I would never think anything of it except for, again, not trying to be rude, just gesturing to the corner where there's a bat lady with mandibles. There's a lot going on here. That's all I'm saying.
I do.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot going on
if
here.
his form of resurrection is kind of taken
Oh,
after
turn
Vern,
was
kind of a light little nod.
So
If his
let's-
form of resurrection involves anything like
So
that,
let's briefly discuss what we're okay with. If his form of resurrection is, hey, Babusha comes back, but she's part coyote and lizard, are we all on board with that? Because that's what I'm seeing around here.
It doesn't put a detriment to her lifestyle, the way she moves, talks, lives her life. I think that might just be it.
She maintains her autonomy. It doesn't matter what she looks like. You're right. Again, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Babusha was always beautiful to me, not because of her looks, because of who she was.
I'm not
So,
necessarily
my
sure.
biggest concern.
Yeah.
Oh,
My-
go ahead, guide. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not sure you all would be very happy if you were to pass on and then wake up with a donkey for your half
That-
of your body.
my-
It's like those
My
movies where they
concern
turn
is
into
it's
cyborgs.
yeah, it's entirely possible that maybe she has her autonomy, but if she is resurrected to
But she's
become
raised
something
in
like
life.
what we see here, her mind might be part something else.
yeah.
I
And
don't
these-
think her
these-
quality of life will be as great as it once was.
These two things that we've been interacting with are feeble-minded.
two individuals. Two
They're
individuals.
simpletons.
I wouldn't say things, but two individuals. I get your point, Trevor.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. But I mean, I don't think Babushka would want to come back as some. I mean, she was off, of course, but God's lover, But
I'm understanding your point. I suppose this sounds like we need to poll the abbot as to the nature of the individuals that we've seen so far here. So, without getting too deep into either spectrum of what these things are and if they maintain autonomy and if it's an insult to their one soul, let's
are
just
they
see
both
what
gone?
this abbot's all about. Go ahead, Meryl, please.
Are they gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both went to go see the abbot.
Is there can I just call to the spider lady and just say, ooh, what am I gonna
Those
say?
are the one chained up.
Yeah.
That was our next
I was,
point.
I was gonna
Yeah, I like
literally
that.
be like, is she alive? Is she
This thing's gonna be
evil?
like,
Is she
the
like
whole time.
hiding
You're
under
like,
a
I will
coat?
say, well, hello there. How
Very-
do you do? And see what she says. If she,
So you approach the lady.
I don't want to approach. Like I want to be able to
Yeah.
speak from a distance.
DM, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down, dude.
More like-
Nobody's approaching.
Just
approach.
gesture toward her. Just move over to gesture toward her. Okay, as you approach.
I approach.
Yeah, that's fine. As you approach and to begin talking, the individual that's chained up immediately freaks the fuck out. Immediately. As you approach, even to get within distance to speak with her, as you're like, hey, she bellows out this screech. Her mandibles kind of retracting outwards, and she begins to flap her leathery wings up into the air. Flapping,
What's it,
flapping,
what
flapping
is it sound
away from you. I have no
What's it
idea.
do?
I don't know. You couldn't pay me enough to try.
You sly dog, you sly dog, you.
As she flies and flies and flies, she begins to fly away from you until the chain goes taut. And you see her leg that is like attached to this chain. You can see a bunch of like bloodied and clawed marks from like where this chain has been constantly lashed to her. She pulls back and flaps and flaps and struggles. She struggles and struggles until she falls to the floor and collapses, but she struggles and tries to fly again. She wants absolutely nothing to do with it.
Wow.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
we effectively spooked her. We spooked her, and she tries to fly out. And
Yeah.
we learn that she's faint here and has tried to fly away more than once because her fucking leg is tattered and shit. Okay.
Hey, y'all.
Okay.
Is it
I'm
too
actually
late?
going to try and get closer to her.
Okay. She freaks out even more. She flies up into the air.
Trevor.
I'm gonna grab the train and start trying to pull her down.
Trevor. Trevor.
As you are pulling the chain downwards, the doors of the abbot open, and you see this man.
I wanted to try and touch her and heal her to kind of see if I can.
Right,
No,
but as
okay,
you're
I'm
pulling
not
the
gonna-
chain, she's freaking out.
Okay, all right, I let her go. I'm not gonna. I thought she was already exhausted and was just like,
Poor guy,
No,
man. Poor guy.
she's out of it, man.
Okay, all right.
But as you let her go, as the doors are open, and the abbot kind of looks at you, what seems to be the problem?
Oh,
There's no problem
no.
at all. We come here with no foul intentions. We heard great things about you and your abbey, and we have unfortunately found ourselves with a fallen friend of ours, and we were hoping that maybe that with you and your great powers or your abilities to possibly revive our friend, to see if maybe that is something that you are willing, able to do.
Kind of like looks as he kind of slowly descends down the steps towards you guys into the courtyard. You see him as you see a handsome young man in brown clothes. I'll show you. Boom.
You don't have a picture, DM?
I do. I got
This guy's too good. This guy's
Yeah.
way too good. Guys, be nervous. This guy's way
100%.
too good. This guy's way too good. He's a picture for this. We're in trouble.
So as he walks down the steps and kind of approaches, he's very quiet and somber as he kind of looks. I haven't had anyone come to the Abbey in some time. And you seek resurrection. Not an easy task. Kind of like looks, just kind of ponders. Where is your friend?
I'll all gesture back to the the caravan that's approaching with Babushka's body in tow.
Okay.
Again, we brought wine as well. As Morel mentioned, we're here. We mean no harm. We brought some wine. We are well aware that you are capable of many things, but we are not here for free of charge, asking for a favor. We are here to even return or help if we can in any way possible.
Kind of. I maybe have the ability for the divine act of resurrection. But it is no simple task, and I do not do it for just a mere adventurer wandering into my abbey. But you seem capable individuals. Maybe a favor for a favor.
We are all about favors.
I'm in need of a bridal gown. I don't trust my mongrel folk to find one.
Bridal gown
Yes.
is.
You are to be married?
Who's the lucky
Attire.
lady?
But she said bridal gown. I said mongrel folk. And my mic didn't pick it up. I said that's crazy to say something like that.
A bridal gown. Pardon me for inquiring about such personal topics, but is it for your betrothed or a family member? I don't know much about fancy dresses, but they seem to be quite personal, and might we be able to speak to the person before we agree? It's
Yeah.
perhaps maybe not even possible given the current existing textiles. We might have to leave to find it. Maybe before we speak to whomever it is this is for.
Well, like Nissa said, a wedding is always a joyous cause. Best to know the kind of bridal gown you're looking for. And Nissa specifically would be great for the job. Might need to meet with the bride to be possible in
Which
any
one?
way.
Yes. Please, come in. Seems we have much to discuss.
Yes, of course.
He just kind of
Nissa, like-
smiles sweetly.
She like
this-
turns
yeah.
to she
Game
turns
over,
to
guys.
Vern and she's like, I know nothing of wedding dresses. I
No.
just thought that was a customary question. I am
You
no.
are a wedding dress expert now. Just make sure we pick something good for the bride.
okay.
Yeah, I want to make it very clear. Out of character, this guy is about to pull out a fucking shit.
What were you saying, Karn?
What?
What were you saying?
Say that again.
I said, who thinks this wedding dress is gonna be arena size?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was thinking the same
Looking at this
Yeah.
guy's picture, bro. This
Yeah, no,
guy's
I saw
turned
this
out
picture, I was
like
like,
a
that
fighter
dude is-
woman, bro.
he's
Like
riding
he's gonna be like my bride is actually a demon from the 9th layer. I go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Look at it, that makes sense.
No, he's definitely sacrificed many things in the name of holy something.
Yeah, no, this guy is gonna fucking eat us. He's gonna put us on a fire and eat us, 100%.
I'm gonna pop divine sense on him when I'm within range.
Yeah, he's
All
a freak.
right. As
Nice,
you do
Trevor.
pop divine
Nice thinking,
sense.
brother.
Getting a weird feel of this guy. This guy doesn't seem exactly what is.
Above board. by any
Doesn't
means.
seem above board by any stretch of the imagination. Kind of peering into your senses. Let me see here.
You're really gonna fuck Trevor up.
Also, if this place is consecrated, I would know that as well. Oh no, hallowed. Sorry, hallowed.
The ground, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll tell you, Trevor. We're getting there, but he's gonna fuck you up, man. He's gonna fuck you up. It's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense. Tap your mic, Dean. Yes, sir.
I got you. I'm here. I'm here. My bad.
No worries. No worries.
Okay. Yes. As you cast, well, not cast, as you use your divine sense, your intuition is correct, as the abbot before you is not a man, though he seems like one. This man is a celestial being,
Okay.
What?
and the ground
Oh,
around
okay.
you is not consecrated. And the music, perfect.
Yeah, bro. Oh, well, damn. He's a good guy. He's a celestial. We're good. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Celestial.
Guys, my bad. I thought we should be scared. This guy's cool. He's cool.
Celestial can do some evil ass shit.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely not fucking these animal people. You know, we're good.
Nice shot. But as he kind of escorts you inside to the main hall, you see again the main hall. You hear gentle sounding music trickling down from above, played on a single stringed instrument from some unseen master. The ground floor is large, about 50-foot square room with arched leaded glass windows. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in the hearth, and while above the fireplace hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbols of the sun. You see wooden staircases that would lead upwards. Several chairs surrounds a wooden table that stretch nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware, golden candelabras, all neatly arranged here. And you see, standing behind that table, kind of sitting, awaiting what seems to have been like the person that was there. You see a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts.
It's she doesn't look familiar, does she? Or like to anybody?
Yeah, have we seen this one before? It's a woman.
Yeah.
She's
No.
resting there on the other side.
Hey
Like,
man,
no?
I'm just like maybe she was some
This
townsfolk we
is
walked by
the
somewhere
bride to
else.
be. We assume this is the bride to be. This is her.
You can assume that, yeah.
Okay. There's a woman there waiting. Oh, kind of greetings. Hello there. Sir Vernon Venator, along with the moon pie is not official. The moon pie, not official.
He said it. He
I
said
I want to
it.
make sure,
It's
guys,
here now.
don't want this to stick. This is not it. We're not doing moon pie.
You said it. You said
No,
with the moon
Not
pies.
moon pie. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for allowing us into the Abbey, into your space. It's an honor. I'll kind of give like a half bow and kind of gesture to the group to like, kind of give her a little bit of love,
As you all kind of like bow and stuff, she still seems kind of lost in her own thought. The abbot kind of turns around the table and goes over and sits next to this woman. Oh, the picture you got here.
You say lovely.
Oh.
Okay.
With eyebrows like that?
Eyebrows like that,
What's the
whited out
title of
eyes,
that?
Dead white eyes.
bride of Strahd.
You're really hitting, bro. I respect it.
As the abbot kind of sits down and kind of like takes out a hand
God
and
damn.
reaches towards her.
I was gonna say, bro. Bro, like, why is she stacked?
Damn.
Listen, man, this is what it is.
What's wrong with you?
Bride of Strahd. Something
The
like that.
bride of Strahd, yes.
Well, that's a crazy name to use for this
Strahd
guy.
got some nice taste.
Bride, necessarily. But okay.
As he kind of sits down, he gestures towards you all to kind of like sit with him.
And we do. At this
Okay.
point,
Yeah.
we all fucking do. This guy's up
Yep.
to no good.
As you kind of sit down, you all begin to notice as you get a little bit closer to the woman and you kind of take your seats with her. You see that the woman that is kind of like speaking, she doesn't even speak to the abbot. The abbot kind of speaks to her and she just kind of like nods and listens. You see the powdered white skin, but you'll see what seems to be careful stitches across her body. With these small little stitches across her face, down her neck, that seem to be hidden by this powdered skin. But it seems that all of her body parts seem to be stitched together, piece by piece.
He's Frankensteining this thing.
Yeah,
Oh
this guy's
my God.
definitely Frankenstein. This thing.
Right,
Let's
Frankenstein. Okay, so we got the wrong monster bride. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
He kind of, the abbot just kind
of.
of, this is Vasilka.
Asilka?
I'll write it down. Pleasure to meet you, Vasilka.
She just kind of stands there, kind of idly standing. Idly like sitting there. I'm teaching Vasilka the finer points of etiquette. I also intend to teach her to dance. She obeys every command, though she can't
You know-
speak.
So she doesn't know these things naturally or from her own growing up?
Oh no, of course not.
Oh, why's that?
Well, she is a bit different.
Oh, in what way?
Divine sense. Is she undead?
Nothing wrong with
No.
that.
She is not
She's-
undead.
She's not
Nothing
undead.
wrong
Okay.
with being a bit different. My good men,
She
we're all
is
a bit
not
different.
undead.
We're all a bit different. You know, actually, I think Trevor is a fantastic dancer. He is one to teach. Should it come down to it, I don't think he would mind showing her a thing or two about the natural ballroom etiquette. He grew up in a noble house. I hate to volunteer to him. I'm just, if you're in need of lessons, Trevor might be your man. That being said, we've heard you. A ballroom gown, a bridesmaid's dress, or a bride's dress even. We will take a look around. To clarify,
Yes.
we have someone amongst our group who is deceased. You are capable of resurrection. Is this true?
I do have the capabilities of using raised dead, and I can do it on your behalf. If you are to attain a wedding dress for Vasilka.
Yeah, and I hate to be so forward.
No
Fantastic
timeline.
question.
Believe that you, the timeline. The
Well,
spell can only be determined for 10 days after death.
correct. I'm not even going to bother explaining the gentle repose to this guy, and then we have
Yeah.
a little bit more time than he thinks. But I will say,
Yeah.
yes, we are on a bit of a timeline here. I suppose a question to you, then, or to the bride, even, and I'll half address her because she ain't all there. As I'm looking at her, I'll look at him. Is there maybe a theme we're going for the wedding? I'm curious of what you two lovers. I'm gonna point.
No, she is not for me.
Oh. Okay then. The groom then. Who is the groom to be? I simply must know. We might have to think of a few gifts for him as well, if you don't mind me saying. Or her, again. You know.
I'm sure, yes. This bride is for Count Strahd von Zarovich.
And we're a big fan. And we're a big fan. Yes, okay.
He kind of
Lovely.
looks at you. Truly, a big fan.
Average fans, normal fans, as fan as anyone who is a fan might be. Right, well, dressed
I just
for the
feel like
lovely,
the corner. I'm sorry, bro. That killed me.
dressed for the lovely
I'm
lady.
turning while he's talking. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think Nissa is gonna put on her best poker face, no emotion, and just kind of like nod her head when he says "big fan."
Yeah,
She's gonna try her best to just be agreeable.
yeah, we're doomed in here, man. Let me tell you, we're not off to a good start. Great, a dress for the lovely lady for her lovely groom. We'll get on it. Do you by chance have there's a word for it. The person who makes the dresses. You have a favorite?
A
Is
seamstress?
a town? We've been all across Barovia. I've been through a couple towns. Is there someone in particular who you would like to have made the dress, or maybe like I said, a theme that you're going for? We're in the market to pick it up. We will do our best.
What is your relation to Sir Count Strahd of sorts? What kind of are you guys buddies? Are you guys acquaintances? Are you
because we
owe
are.
each other a
Because we are.
favor? Do you
Because we are big buddies with him. We want to know how you feel about him.
Vern.
Well,
Best friends.
He's
He
our
kind of-
boy. He's our boy.
Strahd von Zarovich is the ruler of these lands and nothing more.
True.
There's a curse on that man. And I wish and hope that this bride is the answer.
The bride is the answer.
A curse.
What is the
interesting-
nature of his curse?
Yeah, as
Sure.
Trevor said. The curse. More about that, please.
It's the curse of these lands. No one can leave these lands. The fog and mist doesn't allow it.
Even you, as a celestial being, cannot leave this place.
Kind of looks towards you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I kind of scoff at that. Like, all right.
Oops, my bad.
So you are well aware of the curse of Strahd von Zarovich, that he bound people to this place, Barovia, and you think a bride and a beautiful one. I kind of give a nod, and a beautiful one at that. A bride is the answer to such a curse, that it might put it to rest.
Like as you kind of talk to her for again, like kind of keep like
I'm
announcing.
gonna make sure I
to her.
address it as respectfully as possible. Every
That time you announce her, she like kind of her head kind of ticks and her hand like clutches the stone, like the wooden table, and you hear it like buckling underneath the wood as he kind of like grabs her hand and kind of like rubs her hand softly. The
Yeah,
hand kind of
okay.
releases a little bit.
Lovely lady.
She responds that way to her name or just being spoken to?
Spoken towards, yeah.
My bad.
that
Hey, brother.
can
Talk to us about it.
understand. So she can clearly understand language.
In a sense, we're working on it.
I don't like when you answer questions in character when you're asked out of character. That makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
I know.
That makes me very
I'm trying to be dialed in here, man.
I
That makes me very
I was
uncomfortable.
doing a vibe check. I was more so like trying to understand: is she perceiving what we're saying, and is she
Oh, okay.
reacting
Yeah, roll an insight
to
check.
words?
Sure.
Yeah, is she reacting to words, or is it like because she cannot understand, she's frustrated?
Go for it. Roll me an insight check.
Insight check. Insight
Insight
check on
check.
Frankenstein's bride. A solid 9.
She's
Well-
hard to really get a reach on. I mean, to get a kind of read on. You can tell, though being stitched together, she's kind of... Her mind isn't her own, and like certain things may just set it off, and it seems like the abbot is trying to, you know,
He's gonna handle it.
work it. Yeah, he's trying to kind of get a handle on it. Yeah.
I mean, straight up, she's bad. So shouts out to the chat. You know, compliments to the show. I'm just saying that bitch crazy from what we're seeing.
You picked all the right parts.
Yeah, all right parts, dog. I mean, the nose is impeccable.
Hold on. As a note, let me see. I guess everybody roll just a general perception check, just real
Roll
quick.
a group check. That's fine.
A little group check first.
13.
God damn.
Damn.
Well, damn.
Advantage?
No, I don't know why my thing.
Yeah,
does
I
that.
mean, sometimes it's not meant to be unless,
Okay.
Karn's got eyes peeled. Karn's got eyes peeled. He's watching
Respectable. It's not bad.
from the
Okay.
shadows.
So Trevor and Karn, roll me a history check.
Oh.
So as a note, DM, while you're doing that, the takeaway from the abbot, this guy, a little bit off, that's fine. Trevor's thinks he's celestial, we've kind of heard that. This guy seems to be kind of, from what we understand, based on like the sewing structure, has like pieced together probably a bride, or like at least helped make this thing, this woman.
I'll get to you in just a second.
Sure.
Because Karn, the information Karn's about to get may
Hey, that might help. That just might help. Yeah.
might dial it. That's me just being hyped. I forget a couple things here and there. So, as you were kind of moving through, because we were discussing, it was our new character. We were discussing as you were kind of marching towards the thing throughout the village of the cottages, seeing that every cottage has a graveyard. Looking just passively, most were not paying attention, but Karn was. He was paying attention to everything because Karn doesn't like anything around here.
That's true.
Everything is bad.
Yeah.
Everything wants to kill you, so he's very vigilant.
That's in
And
character.
especially graves. So looking amongst the graves, you notice almost all of the graveyards here have dug up parts of their graveyards. Long dead, but these caskets have been dug up and opened in a lot of these cottages. Almost
Unrelated.
all of these cottages.
Unrelated. Unrelated.
But as you walk through, I forgot to mention, as you walk through the main gates of the courtyard, there's a note here.
This music doesn't make me start pulling my bow out, bro. You better be
I
careful.
was like, this music makes it sound like Karn is finding something profound.
Yeah, bro. Karn's
yeah.
gonna crack the case, bro. Like, he's gonna
You're about to
figure it
crack
out.
the cage right now.
Strahd was the boost of our whole
Or
time. type
graveyard
shit.
gardens for dead people.
I forgot, where is that note?
Garden, covered in snow. Scarecrow.
Boom. Karn put it together. He put it together. That and this guy's a freak. Like I said, he is a freak. I don't know what the whips are coming in at. I don't know, maybe that's later, but this guy's a freak, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I'm silly.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Trying to find.
Damn, they have a drink. Give me some
Sorry.
excited.
There is a note here, and it's pissing me off because I can't find it. But I'm almost positive it's in the courtyard that you're supposed to have seen it.
While we're paused for a second, at some point we gotta ask about these mongrels. We gotta,
Oh yeah.
we gotta find out. Like, hey,
What has happened?
what it is? Ho, what's
What
up?
it is, though? Is it 14? Maybe it's 14. 14. Foyer. No. Well, along your way in here, I can't find the note, but I know it's in here. Along the way in here, actually, I think it's as you enter into the courtyard, looking behind you, there's a lot of like netting where you can find things like tools, and amongst those tools is a bunch of different shovels in that netting.
Netting.
Like, will like take on dirt, yeah. Just dirt.
Well, they're not fresh corpses.
So obviously, you got your homunculi Igors running around.
Ew, homunculi are gross.
Yep. But that's how that is. So you guys are sitting in, with the abbot.
Yeah.
Discussing.
I suppose I've been deemed the wedding dress person. Would we have? I guess maybe while we're kind of hanging here for a second, would Nissa have remembered seeing any type of shop that you can buy textiles from that could make a wedding dress? Because from my memory, there's nothing.
In your memory? No, not really.
Unless I fucking make it myself. I don't know.
What if I helped you? Maybe, I'm sure we can put our brains together. We can figure out how to make a white dress.
Well, also, as a side note, in those times, they weren't necessarily white, right? Like, wedding dresses weren't actually white in medieval times. Am I
Well,
right?
I mean, this is a fantasy world. It doesn't
Okay.
have to share our history.
Yeah.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, in back in whenever those days were, wedding dresses weren't always white. They were just the best things you had.
Yeah, it's not necessarily. They don't necessarily have to be white.
Only the rich had white.
Yeah, and it's a wedding dress. And you could probably, in your sense, be like, it's a wedding dress for the bride of Strahd. So it just has to be something nice.
Right.
Okay.
How about a bunch of dynamite strapped with stakes, and we just slap that on her and go with that.
You hide it under a hoop skirt. So
No, it
you
is
never
the
know.
dress. We just
Oh.
make it out of those things.
The
You
whole
know,
dress is dynamite. Yep.
fucking just he wouldn't know.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to fucking find something. Jesus.
Like fabric or like enough dynamite?
Both. Dynamite and a nice brocade fabric.
Weave it from garlic.
Yep.
Should we just go right straight? I bet you Vern, if he was here, he would go straight to be like, "What the fuck are the Mongols?" or something.
You want to tell them that? Like, what are those Mongol folk?
I'll
Yeah,
ask
one
him.
of
Yeah, I
One
think
of those
they might-
Mongol
like-
things.
gently.
Yes,
allude
they
to
deliver
their
it a little bit
existence.
nicer.
Yeah,
His
sure.
words were what?
The Mongol.
He called them
Mongol folk.
mongrels.
They call them Mongol folk, yeah.
Yeah, mongrel folk.
We never. I mean, I have not encountered such beings in my day. And we were just curious to see what a little bit about them. If you could divulge.
Sure. He just kind of like stares at you. Not stares at you. He just kind of looks. Everything he does is very calm and calculated with kindness. Yes. I do regret what happened with the Belleviews. And unfortunately, they must be imprisoned in their way to contain themselves from their madness, not to cause harm to the other villagers. It's truly a shame.
Why do they need to be contained?
Well, though they are returned and aided in their senses, they've lost themselves, their minds corrupted. Madness. Truly a shame. I did try to help them. I did as much as I was able to. But it seems, no matter what I try, it's the same outcome.
Can you? Maybe I misunderstood, but this is an affliction that occurred to them, or is this the reaction to something that they had done themselves as
Well, as a note, Marcena. You probably saw her in the yard.
the
She's
one with
changed the wings. Yes, as a child she always wished to fly. So, I gave her the ability to fly.
So you created these things.
In a sense, yes.
Is it
It was-
your intention to do that to our friend Babushka in order to satisfy your part of our bargain?
Well, it seems that when I do aid someone, their mind doesn't always return. There's some issue with this land.
if you raise the babushka, as Morel says, and you give her your gifts, Trevor mentioned, would she need to stay here in the Abbey? Certainly not. I mean, we have business to
It'd be
do.
safer for he to be here.
Certainly. Maybe safer for all of us to stay here. I suppose, broader question, you'd be okay with her leaving?
If her mind was a danger to others, I can't say that I would.
Mine was a danger to...
Yeah, that's a
Understand.
moral issue right there.
Oh, listen, I missed some conversation out of character. I'm not going to weigh in here. But this guy sounded fucking weird about the time I got back.
Yeah, so I don't know what, yeah, like, I regret what happened to the whatever,
The Bellevues.
yeah. Their minds are corrupted. I tried to help them, and that's when she...
Yeah, okay.
was
Like you tried to help the 7 animal people? Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
he was like Marzena, the lady that is like tied to the post. She's like, as a child, she always wished she could fly.
Okay, yeah, and he was like,
So he's like, I tried to give her the ability to fly.
You know, I mean, to be fair to him, without you telling me a thing, this guy's picture did most of it. This guy's a freak. That's positive. This guy's the Aryan dream, bro. Like, this guy's a freak. This guy is a freak of nature.
Oh my god!
What were you gonna say, Mo?
Dream, god damn. That's great.
I do have a question. So what about her that she needed or wanted that would give you the
Remember.
It's a great way to put it. It's a great way to put it.
You know, the thing.
Yeah, he was like, he kind of.
She always loved dinner time. I go, what are you talking about, bro?
It was just part of the corruption that just happened. It
The
just
spider in the room.
Yeah, there was a spider in the room. Yeah.
a unforeseen happenstance.
So you're not so I'll say accurate, but not to be rude, as far as the resurrection goes, and we'll say the augmentation goes, in Marushka's case. And I ask solely for our party member, our fallen party member. You're not so specific as to how the resurrection may affect her. It's possible she comes back with an ailment, maybe because of her personality, to no fault of your own, but just something that maybe manifests itself. Crocodile tail because she was always so stubborn, or something along those lines.
Maybe.
See,
Resurrections are difficult, and pulling from the veil,
and
pulling her
understand
soul from this land is hard.
what you're doing is a miracle. Again, have no doubt about it. So I understand that it is not a simple task by any means. I suppose I get an off-topic question. How many of these people? You mentioned the one outside her name. I apologize.
Marzena.
Mozina. How many people have you rescued or saved in this abbey? How many people are there? We met your 2 guards outside. They were very kind, by the way, and amicable. Are there more? Do you have more members of your clergy or people that perhaps frequent the abbey? Would love to
I do.
meet.
Yes. Really? Well, I could offer you a tour of the abbey if that's so.
Sure. By all
Mission.
means, please. As long as the bride is okay with such a thing. Mind you, this is her space as well, at least for the time being.
He kind of like, well, she will come with us.
Right. Yes. Let's bring her along. She'll love it. She'll love the trip. He seems cool.
He kind of touches her hand and kind of like lifts her up gently. And she kind of slowly walks with him, and her body is not, again, her own. So her steps are kind of weird. Her feet, her legs are 2 different sizes, so she has to stumble.
Oh, bro, that's sick. That
My
is so
God.
moving.
Bro, this guy is gonna have us rubbing lotion on our skin, bro. In a pit. He's like,
Puts the lotion in the basket or gets the hose.
Yeah,
again.
he's 100% like he's up with some no good, bro. Yeah, some gold bond. He's taking us some gold bond on our shit. This guy's up to no good.
But as he kind of walks, he kind of guides you with him. You guys begin your march across the courtyard. And he kind of, first we will, I'll show you the northern part of the abbey. The more, well, to answer your question, the rest of my clergy.
And I want to make it clear that thank you again for doing this. You don't have to be so kind to us. We just happen
Kind of,
upon your
kind of raises a hand. Just, it is no trouble at all.
Thank you. Thank you.
As you guys make your way across the courtyard, moving past Marzena, as you all approach, Marzena freaks the fuck out and flies off, getting away from the abbot. All of you just kind of chained up as high, and she kind of falls. He just kind of like looks towards her, kind of shakes his head. He continues past. Doesn't really seem to like affect him at all. As the door kind of opens into the northern part of the abbey, you enter into what seems to be what would have been like an office. Evidence remained of a chair and desk that had been shattered to pieces in the hall. In the dark passage to the east is unnatural whispers, mad laughter, and bestial odors. As he enters inside, he says, well, the first part of our tour, where most of the denizens of the abbey are. We have 60 mongrel folk here. He kind of like taps the girl's hand. 6D, yeah. We feed them
60,
60 people.
Okay,
here.
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's making sure we're on the same page.
I will
Yeah.
scratch out 16.
Freaking guy.
No, that's 16. 6D. 6T.
So what Vernon's saying is, guys, behave. There's 60 people in this motherfucker. Let's just keep it cool.
That's crazy.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
And as he pushes into the northern abbey, you see, even in the gloom and darkness, you make out this monstrous shape lumbering around the halls. In the darkness, you kind of see, but as he approaches, this like humanoid creature starts to charge towards you all. And as you see this 7-foot tall person, you notice as it gets closer, it notices the abbot and like stops. And the abbot kind of looks towards him, the creature. A bad first draft. As he kind of gestures you guys to continue. As you see this stitched together body part creature and all shapes and sizes, it seems to be a female humanoid, just a bad rough draft as a person.
I wouldn't say all that. They seem to have an admiration for you. You seem to be very kind and compassionate to those that you've hey. Question mark?
He kind of, I am saving this place.
Yeah, you're staying. Okay.
And as he begins to move into what will be known as the madhouse, that's where we're going to end today.
He goes, I am saving these people. Nobody was arguing otherwise until you did that, by the way.
I think the one thing I probably would have asked, like maybe we could do it next session, but it's really more so like, are the names of the mongrel folk names that he gave them, or is that their name before they turned?
The name before they turned.
Okay, so I don't know if like he's just like, I'm creating a society.
No.
I mean,
These were the people he saved.
not past this guy at all. This guy's a freak. This guy's a freak. Your name's fucking Toby.
Vibes. Like I was joking around about it before, but nah. Bro.
Now it's a little more serious.
Is,
the Abbot,
bro.
he's a character, man.
This guy's a freak, bro.
Level 6, I learned teleportation circle. We leave, and then
we get the fuck out of here. This guy's gonna start.
Hey, this guy can bring her back, though. She can bring Babushka back. You got it.
Bro. Babushka's gonna have 6 snake heads. I'm not fucking fuck that. It's over. It's over. We haven't got a new character.
Hold on.
You can bring Babushka back.
Just answer me this. Do you really honestly think it would affect her mental state?
If you get risen, I'll let you know right now. If you get raised dead by the Abbot, you have a indefinite madness permanently.
Is that any different?
No, to be fair, you're right. In Babushka's case, that might just land fine. That being said, that's if the Abbot raises you. Which I'm gonna make it very clear, guys. As we've seen this guy's a freak. He's a freakazoid, bro.
He's a celestial being. He can do
What are
it.
you talking about, bro?
He thinks he's a celestial being.
Bro, this guy goes, get him straight when you're talking to me. I go, dog, what the? Why would he say that? Why would he say that to me? Like, he's a freak, bro. Something's off. Something's off with this guy. He randomly snaps. He's fucking naming these guys. He's giving them alligator ears. I'm like, dog, something's up. Something's up.
But yet the new guy.
You never mentioned it. We heard whips on the way up here. Somebody's whipping something.
No, like whips, not like the whipping, like whips and howls of like creatures.
Okay.
Not whips.
I thought he was on some BDSM shit, bro. Coming up.
He's not beating these individuals.
I mean,
when the bells ring, all of his little pets start humping each other.
They start howl and yelp and shout out. I see. Yep. Well, look, bottom line is this guy. Say again, Nissa?
Did he actually call her a rough draft?
He did.
He called the other one, the one that's.
He said a bad first draft specifically.
How bad? Can you like paint us a grotesque picture of what a rough draft looks like?
Yeah, man. Google body horror.
I think there's a handout for it. I don't think there's a handout for it, but there's a creature handout.
This guy Chris is on it. He's on it. I gotta give him respect because I didn't have a handout for. I don't think I had a handout for the broad Strahd. Let me tell you something right now. I love it. I'm loving every second. I had it go a whole different direction. I won't say anything yet. Once we get past this, I'll tell you guys. I had to go a whole different direction. It was so much fun, but this is great already. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh, you guys are.
I'm morbidly curious as to what the fuck this thing looks like.
This guy's a freak. He's about to make Trevor wear a dress, bro. He's putting earrings on Trevor. Like this guy's a freak. He is a freak. He goes, your name's Sophia, and Trevor better say yes, sir. He better say yes, sir.
So this is in the anatomy of a female, but this is basically like the stitched together body of the first draft. The face is like sagged, and the arms are two different sizes. The legs are two different sizes. You can say like some of like the feet in it are probably of like children. Like the fingers are children and stuff. It's really rough. The hands are different sizes. One of them's like half rotted.
Oh man, we're just like, dog. She's beautiful. Hey, she's beautiful. Honestly,
you could have done it. You could have done first draft. First draft was it.
I go, man. I'll be honest with you. I wish I could have married her. I'm a little bit jealous. And he's like, yeah,
man,
that sounds right.
You told the new guy to shut up. That was the right thing to do.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, shut the fuck up. Because if you say something here, this guy.
Be careful in here, man. Be careful in here. That's all I'm gonna say. As a DM to my players, let's just be careful here. Huh? Be careful. Know where you guys are at.
So just to let you know, every long rest, I have to roll to see what my character's personality is going to be based off that day.
God.
And it's random as fuck.
Are you an Eladrin? That sounds like an Eladrin type thing.
Eladrin, yeah.
Yes.
He's an Eladrin.
Okay, I'm locking it in.
It's an Eladrin base, but it's not Eladrin completely.
Yeah. That's my DM mind spinning. I see what you're cooking up. I don't like it, but I see it.
So far, all I've gotten is summer. I'm waiting until winter.
Yeah, man. So what this means is this guy's going to be unstable, is what I'm hearing. And we already have Babushka, who is arguably unstable. I just want that on the record. Yeah. It's already crazy.
I made her to be unstable.
This is the Abby. This is Chris. You got the Abbott. You have Raised Dead. He'll do you guys a solid. He'll do it 3 times for you guys.
He has the ability to do it, yes.
Got
I like that.
Let's just
we got
say I
in here, and this is an abomination.
So, to clarify as a group, what that means is, from what we came away with, this guy can raise dead, and like Chris said, he can do it like 3 times, like a day, by the way. Like he can, essentially, takeaway, he can raise dead, which means if any of us dies later, which is liable to happen, by the way, Barovia, like it's scary out here, this guy can bring us back. But as we're learning, he's a fucking freak.
He's a freak.
Boy. Oh, he a freak. Like we're lucky here. Like, yo, Trevor, I like that beard you got. You're like, hey, what
that could work. That could work for something.
Take your shoes off, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this guy's a freak, bro. So
is he hag-like in any way?
Yeah. Well, the argument is
hag-like? No.
Yeah.
He's a celestial.
Yeah.
He's like beautiful. He's a handsome
he is.
young man.
For over 100 years, by the way,
Yeah.
a handsome young man. Those
Yeah,
are
I didn't like the picture that they originally have of the abbot.
No, yeah, it's
like he
terrible.
looks horrifying, and he doesn't match
looks like
the
you should
description.
fight him, which is what
Yeah,
the party
like
wants
off
to do.
rip. Like
Yeah.
off rip, you're supposed to like. It looks like you're supposed to fight that guy.
Bro, your picture is goated. Like it's perfect because that's what
Yeah,
that's how they describe him and like the
Yeah, that's how they describe him in the thing.
Yeah.
But I'll show you guys the
No.
picture of what it's supposed to. That like in the Curse of Strahd book, like this is the picture of him.
Yeah, so one of the pro tips telling players, because you guys aren't DMs, you haven't read behind the scenes, a lot of the Curse of Strahd like handout like pictures are terrible.
Yeah.
Like the picture for Chris, shout out to Chris for using the actual picture of the Burgomaster in Vallaki. Like that guy looks like a freak. And you're like, this guy's a fucking freak. Like as soon as you see him. And then you see the abbot, the actual picture, which Chris will show you. You're like,
This is the
guy's a
actual
fucking
picture
freak.
of what like the abbot is in the book. It's in campaign meet.
What the fuck is that, bro?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
like, he's
you see that?
horrifying to look at.
Okay, this guy's a fucking nut. Like, I'm not listening to that guy at all. And then the, what else is it? Did we do Death House? I forget. We did.
Yeah, I
right?
didn't do Death House now.
We didn't do Death House.
But the children in Death House, awful.
If
Fucking
we did Death House, you're like, well, these are ghosts. Like, immediately. You're like, these are fucking ghosts. Like, it's terrible. So,
But this is
it's
good.
always good to find alternative picks to, like, fit what it should be. And the the Abbey was great, bro.
The abbot picture is so good.
You get inspiration if you need it. That was good.
You don't want me to have that, but I'll take
No,
it.
you're right. I don't.
You don't want me to have that.
So let's
No.
say we just swung on the abbot.
Do it.
Out of
Do it.
nowhere.
Do it. 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 Do it.
So getting to the point, my main point, this is out of character, out of session. This
How do
is
we-
me
how do we
talking to
feel?
y'all. I've had a lot to drink, so I'm rambling, but I'm getting to the main point, which is this guy does have the ability of resurrection, at least according to him now. If we believe him, which I don't know why the fuck we should, that's one. But number two is if we believe him, let's say we do, because he's done a lot of shit, good or bad, we'll argue that later. He can bring people back from the dead, so he's not a bad ally to have at number one. I guess my point.
How much of an ally can we make him if he's allied
Exactly.
with Strahd, though?
Well, exactly. So what I'm trying to say through the whiskey, what I'm trying to say is this guy is looking to appease Strahd for whatever reason, without getting into the lore of it all. He's trying to make a bride for Strahd to somehow quell the curse that ties people here, which is very relevant to us. However, without no spoilers, this motherfucker is crazy, right?
weird.
So he's probably not
Weird
onto
guy.
anything good. That being said, not that I'm against him making a beautiful bride for Strahd.
That is a
and
righteous
having
man
Strahd.
you're looking at. That's a
I'm
righteous
all
abbot.
about having
Good man.
Strahd show up to the abbot to pick up his bride and us fighting him and failing, so we know how strong he is. That's a good metric. It helps us balance it out. Off topic way entirely. The main thing is this guy can bring people back from the dead if we're listening to him. So we can't appease him for now. I mean, we can just be like, okay, we'll get you the dress. And we get him the dress, and we bring it back, and he raises Babushka or does it, whatever. And Babushka's part fucking meerkat. Okay, yeah, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough. But Babushka's back. That's an argument, right? She's here. Maybe she pokes her head up every morning. I don't care. All I'm
Man,
saying
you
is
guys are
she's back.
selfish.
All I'm saying is she's back. That's all I'm saying. My point
And a
is
little crazy. Just a
my
little
point is
crazy.
this. Even if this is out of character, if Daniel's okay with making a new character, since this motherfucker's already here, so Babushka's probably checked out. I want that on the record. Babushka's probably gone. Since Daniel's already got a new guy here, right? DJ Khaled. All I'm saying is,
DJ Cat.
all I'm saying is, that doesn't mean everyone's okay with their characters dying. So let's say Morel or Trevor, God forbid Karn, right? They pass on to the next life. This guy apparently can bring people back. It might be worth it to just play his game, to have him here to do that for us.
All
Because
he wants
even
is a
if-
wedding dress.
That's all I'm saying, right? We get a wedding dress, which might be hard on its own. We're not there yet.
Yeah,
But that being said,
Think
we
that's all.
leave Crest and we go to Argynvost and we fuck around with the dead dragon house and we look around for the card reading. We go to Berez and we fuck around for the pine cone that the Martikovs are missing and we die. Because by the way, I mean, you guys know, Chris has said it many times, Brovia is terrible. It's god awful. Like, somebody might die, probably, we'll die again.
There's
And
probably
two
going to
people
be
might
at
die.
least one more
Yeah.
death. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
With no diamonds, with no spell components, like it's miserable. You're not coming back. If you want to keep your character, like if you're like, I love Morel too much, can't lose her, She's too important to me. I love Nissa too much. I can't lose her. She's that much important to me. Might be worth. This is out of character. This is player talking to player. Might be worth to keep the abbot on our side. And even though we got a fucking, he goes, I want you to take your shirt off and dance, motherfucker. Maybe we got to dance.
Why is he turned into a sexual deviant?
He's not free.
He's just a weirdo.
No, this guy's a freak, but I don't want to hear it. He's a fucking...
just immediately goes from like this awful guy to like a deviant.
This
No,
guy, this
in
guy,
my head canon, he's a freak. He's a sexual freak. He's a
this
deviant.
guy was the alternate for the cast in Saltburn.
100%.
Yeah, he's a
So
weirdo.
my
But
point is,
as the point is done,
yeah,
you have the chance. I've raised that. You have the chance to bring back at least 3 characters if that's what you choose. And there are ways.
yeah.
There are ways to cure madness. Which, if that's the negative, there are ways to cure it. Just keep
Exactly.
that in the back of your head. If you don't straight up murk this abbot on some
essentially,
bullshit.
the biggest sell to all us as players is we don't have to cut the abbot out as like a viable option. As crazy as he is, if we want to play along, he is someone who can bring us back from the dead, regardless of madness. We could play along, and I mean that means people can come back, and we know it's going to be dangerous. It might be worth to have him here as an option. Yeah, as an option. But that being said, who knows how it'll go. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But with that being,
Mhm.
yeah, there's an army here.
You're definitely gonna have a raccoon tail if you come back. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the option's there.
Because it was in the room when it happened, so.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Oh,
hey,
yeah, he goes,
he puts these animals in the room when he raises people just to do
He
it.
puts it in the room. He goes,
Just to
damn it,
confuse
sir.
him.
I didn't see the chameleon in the corner. Looks like you got chameleon eyes.
Shit.
I go, you son of a bitch. You should have looked around. Why would you do that?
But thank you guys so much for fucking hanging out with this shit. It's a mission here. It's crazy out here. But that's what I got so far. We're in Crest, we're in the Abbey. The Abbey has a lot of stuff to look into and to discuss with the Abbot. He has his mission, of course. But I mean, it's your decision on what you want to do with it. That being said, until next week, which is the 13th of February,
Ooh.
day before Valentine's Day.
Oh, so romantic.
I know, and he's trying. And it's the Abbot trying to give love to Strahd.
Fuck that.
Perfect.
Fuck
Valentine's Day special, fantastic.
Now kiss.
Now kiss.
He's mushing our faces together. No, I'm good. I'm all right.
But if everybody's good for next week, Tuesday the 13th, that's when we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
To see what I want you to do with the Abbot. Let's
And
behave.
King, by the way, I apologize. I get off work legally at 5:30, but 9 times out of 10 it's like 5, and so every day I'm like racing home to get here. But then
We'll
we
wait
have
until
like,
6:45, man.
Yeah,
then
we
we
have-
have the 15 minutes, 20 minutes of just chatting.
we had
So,
like
hey,
4 patients pull up, bro. At the same time, I was like, well, I'm fucking locked, so I couldn't leave.
that's
but I was
all
late.
good.
So apologies for being late and for making y'all start late because I want to be here if I can.
No worries, King. But that's all I got for you guys. Until then, love, peace, and whiskers grease. See y'all next week. Y'all have a fantastic time. Yo.